right, so here we go. Let's see how this goes.
Let's go into the
Dun, dun,
game.
dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. So just feel free to jump in once you want, once you're ready.
Yeah, I need to close some stuff actually. I forgot beforehand. Streaming is so regular for me. Okay, that doesn't work.
Yeah, let me know once you're ready, because I have to unlock my gunner seat. Somebody else jumped in, and I had to sadly kick them. Sorry.
Okay.
Hey everybody in the chat, how are all of you folks doing? I hope you have a fantastic Saturday. We're once again back with some IL-2. Bernhard is here as well. Say hello, Bernhard.
Hello everyone. I can't see you in the plane. I have
You can't see me yet.
no. I have Sandwich
check
Smuggler, Eric the Viking, and
Check
Birdie.
now. Just
Nope.
reset it. Go out of the menu selection and then.
I changed the side. Oh wait. What did it say? Why is it beeping? Exit. Is it beeping on my side or on your side?
There might be beeping if you're in some sort of cooldown.
Ah, yeah, I did a coalition change. Return to battle after
Did you join the
Soviets. Yes, I thought
Soviets?
that would. So how long do I have to wait?
Usually there's the countdown next to the start button on the bottom right.
Ah, yeah, okay, I see it now. I see you. Yeah, I can now, but it's locked. Anyway, yeah, I have 140 seconds to yeah.
Okay.
Because I thought I can reset the choose plane, and then I said, whatever was written there, ignore. I look at the chat in the meantime. Hey, Andrew.
Hey everybody in the chat. How are you on this fine Saturday? Once again, streaming some IL-2 in support of course, our crowdfunder. It's going to be the last 24 hours if you want our new Stuka book. And I'm just noticing that I don't have the Stuka book test print next to me, so I'm gonna have to get up and get that very quick.
I
I'll be
have it
right
with me.
back. But I'm gonna just put that link already in the chat. Not in the chat. Actually, I should also put it into the chat.
So
Germans and marketing. It's just not something that works. There we go. But it's also on the stream now. Let me get the test print.
So, hello from India, from Rotangliana. Ciao from Austin, Texas, Michael.
Texas. Nice.
So we have Texas. I think Andrew is Pennsylvania, if I can remember correctly, but I might be wrong. So India, Texas, another state in the United States. Alonso Rojas de Rey, probably, I assume, Spain or maybe South America. Hi, Czechia, from our neighbors, or my neighbors, because...
First, how are you doing?
Yes, Pennsylvania, I was correct. So 40 more seconds to wait before I can become a gunner.
Cool.
And Madison, Wisconsin. Und aus Steyr. Oh my god, that's very close. And Steyr was a major arms manufacturer in Austria. I mean, I still probably still make them.
No?
Yeah, I mean, of course, the STG 74 was actually, I actually fired a Steyr gun.
Oh no.
Also from Germany. So yeah, we have a wide range. So 3, 2, 1. You can unlock now.
Okay, give me a second. Hopefully I don't spin. I already did that a little bit.
And okay. 3, and I got in. I'm the rear gunner, not the tail gunner. But yeah, tail gunner sounds better because, well, due to the Iron Maiden song Tail Gunner, of course. They didn't make a song Rear Gunner.
Houston, we have a problem.
What?
It's called Hans' gun barrel. I kid you not. There is Hans's gun barrel that is blocking our wing.
What?
Yeah, I'm driving past a flak gun and his barrel.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, that's a 20 mil.
Oh, actually, no, maybe it was the
I think it was the sandbags.
Yeah.
Yeah, are the sandbags, not banks.
It's just power. We just need power. It's fine.
Ranger NCR, hello from Twer. Oh, is it you, Andrew? Or is this another person from Twer? And NCR, so you're I assume you're a fan of Fallout, probably, because
He did that on purpose.
Fallout New Vegas is the only game on Steam I have so far which I have 100% achievements. Are we going to be allowed to ask historical questions? Yes, but we are not obliged to answer. But yeah, we will try as best as we can.
Right, so I'm just gonna wait here for the other Stukas. Apparently we've got a whole
Yeah.
gaggle of them.
Oh, nice. I actually don't know. Maybe I pronounced Tver. Probably I pronounced it wrong, so I'm very sorry about that. Du bist doch aus Deutschland, oder hast nie einen deutschen Akzent? No, he said you are from Germany because you have a German accent. Actually, I'm from Austria and I have an upper Austrian accent. You can actually tell. I mean, recently, for instance, Arnold Schwarzenegger is from Styria and he has a different accent than I. For instance, another very large YouTuber, way larger than I am from Austria, is Novrich, and he has a very similar accent to mine, and I think he's from Upper Austria as well. So you can actually hear the region, even in a and this is the same. For instance, I also follow a Swedish comedy channel, a Finnish comedy channel, and for me they all sound basically the same. They all sound like from Kick-Ass, which is another Finn I know, because I think there are certain minor aspects in listening and hearing which only become aware if you're for a certain region. I mean, the most funny thing was I once was in Carinthia in southern Austria, and I know that I actually know the dialect, but the funny thing is every male voice I heard I thought was the father of a friend I know. Because it was basically I always associated that accent with his father, although I knew him and some of his friends who also spoke in that dialect. So kind of weird.
This is chat what happens when you get Bernhard talking.
Yeah. Yeah, because he did. Oh my God, we have like 5 Stukas. So and there's one trailing in. I think that's a 109 or something. So we have actually 2 Kette, right?
You're well 1.5 essentially. 1.5.
Isn't a Kette 3?
Yeah. Oh, there's 5 Stukas behind us?
Yeah, there's 5 behind us.
Oh well, yeah. Then we have 2 Ketten. Yeah.
I mean, I think the one trailing far behind is also a Stuka. I'm not.
Yeah.
That's still above the airfield, but we have at least 4 behind us. Wait, I can zoom in a bit. Yep. It pretty much looks like a Stuka if I'm not mistaken, and he didn't pull in the landing gear.
Robert, if you want to find out more information about your grandfather, what you need is obviously his name, his service number as well, and you need to contact the MOD, the Ministry of Defense. It used to be that those files were at the RAF museum. They're no longer there. So you have to just, go on Google. I'm pretty sure you'll find the information relatively conveniently, considering that it's the UK, and there's a lot of people that are trying to find that information, but you have to go via the MOD. And if you have a service number, that's a guarantee hit. If you don't have a service number, it's going to be a little bit more tricky. So
I asked if I wiped my monitor squeaky clean. Not really, and because we didn't actually plan to stream another day, to like the regular chat, and yeah, I think the ground issues we fixed them. Biz recommended to go in, log in, and log out again, and then should help. But for me, that sounds a bit like superstition, but it definitely worked. So, that's IL2, not War Thunder. But I generally play War Thunder because I'm not good enough for IL2. So, and also I don't have enough time neither. Hey, Chifton, how are you doing? If you have too many behind you, you're the tail gunner, just shoot one down. So we have Chieftain in the chat as well.
Nice. Hey, Chieftain. How are you doing? How many Stukas are with us now? Oh, yeah. Cool. We have a full formation.
1, 2...
Professionals.
3 behind on the left or on your right and 1 on the right, but there should be more which I don't see. Or are they before? I think some overtook us. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, there's 2 on our right.
Yeah, I see 2 on the left and 2 on the right. I don't see that third one.
Yeah, it's on my left, on further behind, but you should be able to see him, because he's. I can't shoot in his general direction.
No.
He's directly behind the other 2.
Okay, that's
a
good
bit
enough.
lower, a bit lower.
That's good enough for me. Okay, we're actually getting already relatively close to the target.
That's we are really close to the front.
Yeah, we took a frontline airfield. Maybe not the ideal place to start with a Stuka that wants to go dive bombing, but we'll make it work. Oh, okay.
Are you smoking again? Yeah, okay. Shifton is doing is alive and well. Good to hear. We should have we should do a chat again soon.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff we can talk about tanks probably.
Ah, tanks. What are you ever gonna learn about tanks? Just
Yeah.
go aircraft.
I am currently reading up quite a lot of stuff. But how are you able to speak and understand German that well? Yeah, thought Novich was a German at first too. Yeah, no, he's Upper Austria. I mean, it's probably very close to Bavarian accent. Bavaria and Austrian or Upper Austria sound probably rather similar, same as Baden-Württemberg. They are closing in now.
I went off the throttle a little bit.
And the one is still farther behind.
That's fine.
Oh, that's dirt.
Oh, this is really nice. They're flying really nicely, these guys.
Vale Rasmussen live stream at the same time as Drachenifel. Oh, Drachenifel is also streaming.
Oh, okay.
We didn't know that.
Yeah, we didn't know that. Somebody's asking me what is the best World War II flight sim out there right now. Well, that depends. I mean, the most complete one I would say is IL-2, the one that we're playing. There's also obviously the Cliffs of Dover possibility that you can use. ECS has a couple of really well-made World War II aircraft, but I don't think I would call it complete just yet. It needs a little bit few more planes to be called complete. So right now the most convenient choice would probably be IL-2.
Stuka's showing off all the time on stream. Thrust streams for hours at a time, finding a time that he's not streaming can be difficult. Yeah. I think he also doesn't put it on Twitter or something, so I don't notice, probably. Because
he only streamed like once or twice, and then he's doing the World of Warships thing. I didn't know that he's streaming regularly.
I didn't either, but I mean, I rarely catch any streams or notice them. I mean, I have many subscriptions. Yeah. I think I only notice if somebody streams if it's on Twitter, but because I see him on Twitter, but I think he rarely does something on Twitter. It's usually a picture with you and him, which I can recall, and it's probably that you did it. And if I ping him on Twitter, if I tag him, then he usually responds rather fast. I have a jacket that is vest or east German with light blue shoulder boards. Do you have any idea what it could be? Do you know, Chris?
Sorry, repeat that question.
I have a jacket that is vest or east German with light blue shoulder boards. Do you have any idea what it could be from?
No, I have absolutely no idea about uniforms.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm not a uniform historian or interested in them, to be honest.
Yeah, I know that's the main weak point with nearly everyone I know so far.
To be honest, I don't think many historians really look into that stuff.
And there are some which do, but I think it's also in Germany. It's probably a bit less, even so, because it's more associated with military and everything, and that also has a bit of a bad vibe. I mean, I know, for instance, one Austrian. Well, he's not directly a historian, but oh,
Are we getting attacked?
no, there's two fighters behind us, but yeah, 109's the overtake now below you.
It's very likely, Bernhard, by the way, that some of these Stukas have AI gunners and they will fire automatically.
Okay, yeah, I hope so. So what I was saying, there's an Austrian, and he had a lot of World War II stuff and everything, and he said he basically sold everything and now only has basically World War I because it's less of a headache. You have less troubles and everything.
Yeah.
So this is another aspect, I think, which needs to be taken into account. Newton, the best tank still is Steel Beast Pro PE, but only driver, gunner, and commander flavor. Ranger NCR, looking at the game, I can't help but wonder if it's possible to make this sort of book about IL-2 since it's the Junker counterpart in a way, both culturally and in the close air support draw. Yeah, it's a bit harder for us because, well, we don't speak Russian or read Russian. But it should be possible. It also depends what documents are available from the Soviet side.
Yep.
Or Russian side now.
Right, okay, so we're very close now, Bernhard. Get ready for the dive.
Okay.
Just need to find a target below us.
And there's no oil on the shield on the windscreen, or how you say it, the glass thing in your. I remember that actually from World War II Online, I learned it in that game that you have that below your feet.
Yeah, the bombing window is quite handy. Although quite a few dive bombers had like downward visibility.
In World War II Online, I actually bombed enemy airfields. I flew above them and then waited that somebody spawned and then dropped them.
That's what's called spawn killing.
Oh! Okay, these are 109s up high, yeah. They're circling us.
There must be the target somewhere below us.
Oh!
We're hit!
I have no idea where, and nobody's shooting. Was it AA?
Okay, we're diving.
But there is not a single AA shot. Okay, now I see. Oh, yeah. Your elevator, at least the front part, is damaged on your right side. Just
okay.
So maybe that might complicate the dive, the pull out.
It's fine. We're good.
And we are leaking a white fluid on the right side.
Okay, bombs exploding down low left, probably.
Yep, there was one explosion. Yep.
Okay,
in front and behind the tents.
Nice, good hits from that formation. Yeah.
That AA was stream sniping. I mean, the first shot hit. Basically. Or did you see flak before?
I didn't see flak. No, I'm pretty sure it was heavy flak or something like that. So we have to go back. Our formation is doing really good work down there. We hit something as well. Oh, we got one burning Stuka to our front left. They're bailing. 9 o'clock.
But shouldn't heavy flak like these puffs?
Should be. But to be honest, we were high enough to or low enough to still be hit by medium flak.
Okay.
So. Yeah, we lost one Stuka so far.
My console, I played World War II Online before it was called Battlefield Europe. I think around the change, so this was, I think 2005 around, probably 2004, 2005.
You see anything behind us?
Besides our smoke, no, nothing. No friendlies, nothing.
There's.
What are you doing? Why
I
did you?
hope to see if I can stick my head out of the window
Okay.
in order to
There's
see if my whole front screen is full of
on
oil.
our left. Something exploded. On your left.
On my
There are
left.
three.
I
There are
see
three
it, yeah.
planes. One is very low. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if that one crashed and is just. I think it's trailing white smoke now. I think there was a fight over there because there was an explosion there. I mean, you see actually the smoke on the ground, but there's
See.
one very low flying as well, and there's something on our right as well. On our 3-4 o'clock.
3 or 4 o'clock. Okay.
You see him?
Is this co-out?
There's two actually, one high
Yeah,
and one
yeah, I see
one
him.
mid.
Yeah, I see him. That's one Stuka on our 3 o'clock going home. He looks untouched. Okay.
Multi-server overload, erratic plane behavior may occur. Please contact server administrator.
I don't think this engine is gonna carry us back, by the way.
Should I give you some more power with firing the machine guns?
No, that's not how it works.
I mean, it should provide a bit.
To be honest, I have this very convenient hole in my windscreen that I can look out of.
Okay, at least you get proper ventilation.
What's my oil doing? Yeah, it's fine. My water as well. Let's close those up a little bit more. Let's just squeeze a little bit more speed out of this machine.
That game is IL-2.
We did hit a couple of targets. We'll have to check the score soon.
Yeah, I won't get anything anyway. It's like a gunner is basically guaranteed for getting no points.
I mean, with the smoke that we're trailing, we're very easy to spot for enemy fighters.
Yeah. I was like saying like they always made the I think in the TV series about the black sheeps, they said like, yeah, this is like blood for sharks. At 6 o'clock there's something high, but I don't think it's an enemy.
Okay.
There's one mid. High is turning up higher, and the mid, I don't know what they're doing.
I think that's a 109. It looked a little bit sleekish.
I mean, how you can tell from 3 pixels what it is, but yeah, then again.
The WTF method. To be honest, I'm not even that good. You should see like some of the people that I used to fly with. They see 2 pixels and they can tell you what it is with like 90% accuracy.
Yeah.
Right, if I follow this road, that's going to take us to the airfield. Cool. Maybe not set it down on the road though.
Didn't the Germans send Finnish infantry equipment during the Winter War? As far as I know, not. Quite on the contrary, they actually tried to enforce the embargo as good as they could. And I covered this in a video on what the Germans did during the Winter War. They were actually more helping the Soviets than the Finns, definitely. Like the Soviets asked for access for, I think, for an air base, and the Germans obliged. Although in the end they didn't use it, but the Germans basically said yes. Fun to flip back and forth between HV and Bismarck, who are simulcasting, seeing the different points of view. Yeah, I wish I could see what Bismarck is seeing.
I see nothing. I see like the road, and I'm just trying to follow the road, and then I have this little other hole right in front of my face where the flak shell missed my own body. Oh, I see a plane in front of us. Barely. I think that's also a Stuka.
Yeah, there's something still high up there.
No, there is.
Oh no, 6. Oh yeah, I see the holes we have in our wing. In both wings.
We've got a lot of problems. I think it was just like one single 37mm or something that went right into our engine. No, 35mm probably, since it's Soviet.
So what's at 35mm? Hey.
Yeah, I think so. Because they always have the different calibers, right? So they had like 23mm for flak. They had like 35, I think.
But I mean, I'm not very good, but at least from Steel Division, I remember they had also 37 mil.
That's possible, yeah.
So they have 85 mil. That's the big one.
Yeah.
But I can't remember 35 at any point. But
Or
then
if
again, we are early in the war,
yeah.
but they also have a lot of old equipment. Yeah, I mean, Steel Division, and usually Steel Division has the equipment pretty good, because they nearly have everything in there.
So there's one thing that's really inconvenient. I have been damaged in the fuel tank gauge.
Oh, so we don't
Yeah.
know how much we have. I mean, there's still something leaking, so there must be something left.
Yeah, that's fuel that's leaking.
And by the way, people, if I want to stream Steel Division 2, but currently it's not possible because their low violence version, which basically censors some political symbols, is not really working. I already commented that on Steam that there's a bug, but if you want to see, I hope they fix it soon, because yeah, it's not a good idea to stream and then suddenly something shows up.
Is that Steel Division?
Yeah, Steel Division 2.
Okay.
They have a lot of they have actually, for some divisions, they have a low violence version.
Okay.
And like, they don't show then, like for the SS divisions, they don't show the symbol, they just show, I think, the number. Like for the Viking, it's the 5th, it's a 5. But for some other divisions, they didn't do this, and there's like the full thing there.
Okay.
Which you don't want to have as an Austrian or German streamer or YouTuber, or especially not as a historian.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when we were playing that game together, we were even picky which divisions we were playing.
Yeah.
It's just...
It's definitely... I mean, it's... Also, I think post-scriptum, basically, there was also like... There was one... Basically, yeah, you can play that... On that map, you can't play the Germans, because it's only...
Yeah.
One thing left you can play. I think there's 25 mil, yeah.
I see the airfield.
Okay, we actually made it. Almost. I don't want to jinx it. I mean, I like Eugene as devs, but they have a lot of issues to fix there or something. And I think that the low violence thing is not really important for them, and I think I was the only person that actually noticed it. And for me, it was also, if I don't stream, I don't really care too much about it. But because for private use, it's not a problem as far as I know. But it's from the other aspect. If I want to stream it, then yeah, that shouldn't show up.
Okay, Bernhard.
Yeah. Should I bail?
I hope that we still have both our gears, because we're approaching
Yeah,
here.
I actually was thinking about, do we still have both gears if we got hit in both wings? So maybe the gear ate everything, and this is the reason why the wing is still on.
Right. Okay, we're gonna put her down in a second.
I didn't make a video about the last defenders of the Führerbunker. No, it wasn't me.
That sounds suspiciously like somebody else's YouTube channel.
Yeah. The problem with using Iron Cross as a swastika substitute is that you start stigmatizing the Iron Cross too. It becomes just as radioactive. I don't see it that way, especially because the Iron Cross is also used by the Bundeswehr. I mean, it's not, and sometimes they use the Balkenkreuz. I mean, okay, this is a minor difference.
Bernhard, I did it!
We survived! Woohoo! Why did you do this? Oh my god! I see there's a huge hole in my windshield as well. Or is this windshield? No. Yeah. The glass above my head? How is it called?
Yeah, the canopy.
Canopy, yeah.
Ooh. Right, let's
nice.
that in.
Every landing you can walk away from is a good one.
I would say so. There's a lot of oil on my face now. Oof.
From behind it looks fine.
Chat. We actually made it home.
But we are the only ones. Everyone else died. What is that flying? Oh, he has his lights on and he's firing. Okay.
No, I think there is one Stuka that also made it back at least.
So I finished mission now?
Yes. Finish mission.
I got 2 times 0.5 points, but I have 0 points. It's because it's.
I have 5 points because apparently I hit one dog out.
So you got 2 points for the dugout and 2.5 times the points.
Yeah, sort of.
So now we are changing to a different aircraft, I think.
Yeah, we're changing to the Allied side now, just to mix it up a bit, chat. But remember, this is sort of our celebratory book launch event thing. There's only about 24 hours left for our campaign on the Stuka book, which I will now hold into the camera. Here you go. This is, of course, the document, actually not the book, that contains multiple documents that we are translating, a lot of annotations, a lot of extra informations there as well on the Stuka. Primary documents, of course, that are being translated by us, and it is going to give you an avenue into the JO827's history that I think a lot of you will very, very much appreciate, because it's very different to sort of what many other books have done on this aircraft. So make sure you check out stukabook.com. That's all the information about the campaign is there. You'll find everything written there. And yeah, you have sort of plus or minus 24 hours left on the campaign. So make sure you check that out.
Hey Galto, thanks for joining. Hey, again, just rear gunner. Yes, just rear gunner because I can't fly an IL-2. I mean, I can fly a quick mission, but I don't even know how to start a plane, so.
Okay, so now change to the Allied side, because we're going to have a little bit of a cooldown, a countdown, not a cooldown, a countdown.
Countdown?
Remember, yes, it was flak that hit us.
I thought we are taking the 110.
No, we're taking the A20.
Oh, okay. Not the. But then you already changed, so we have to cool down it.
Changed that.
Okay, yeah. Accept.
There we
So
go.
I can't see you.
And Mac1 board backed it. Thank you very much, Mac1 board. Very appreciated. Thank you very much for backing our project.
There was one
Awesome
question.
stuff.
Did you shoot the tail or was it enemy fire? That was enemy fire. We were hit by a. You can't. They have a grieving protection, so you can't really damage your. You can shoot your rear, but you can't really damage it. From what we have tested.
Exactly. Remember, everyone, if you have questions about the Stuka, just ask them now. This is also a way for you for a little bit of a Q&A opportunity. I know a lot of you who were here last Saturday and asked all your questions there. I think the question that was most popular is, what is that spinny thing in the back of the JU87? So that was answered frequently. But yeah.
And we're playing on the Wings of Liberty server.
Yes. Come and help us.
Yeah.
Oh no,
switch to Germany again.
Dive process for Stuka pilots. Would they prefer to dive with or against the wind? Both are an option. If the wind is coming from the side, that's bad. So you want to dive with or against the wind. Obviously, the meteorological data they get is usually, by the time they get to the target, usually sort of an hour out of date, unless they have a ground observer who can tell them where the wind is coming from. But you got to remember that wind is tricky, so it's not always at the same strength and same level, different altitudes. But obviously, if you're dropping it at a low altitude, whatever the ground observer tells you is probably going to be accurate.
So we have two questions here. How many Stukas do you need to change a light bulb, and how good, useful was the rear gunner? Did they ever shoot down anyone?
Yeah, I mean, the rear gunners did shoot down on occasion. It is there just to give a little bit of a protection, and also to make shooting at the Stuka a little bit more nerve-wracking. If something is shooting back at you, you're not going to be able to aim and take your time with the attack just in the same way as you would in unprotected aircraft. So it's definitely good to have it. And with the upgraded firepower of the MG81Z over the MG15 that was installed earlier, you're obviously getting twice the bang plus additional rate of fire. So that's not a bad gun to have in there.
There's a follow-up question. What was the point of having a tail gunner where dive bombers did like the Stuka and Avenger so often engage from behind and wouldn't using that weight, fuel, ammunition be better. And I think it is important here. He was not only the tail gunner, he was also, I think, a navigator and some other aspects, right?
So he was a navigator, he was an observer, he also did the radio. That guy would be doing way more stuff than just also I just remembered I have to actually change the setup of the bomber that we're flying. So he would be doing more things than just shooting.
There's also another very good question. Was there only one model of the Stuka dive siren, or were there more?
Essentially, there are two iterations. So there is the unofficial one that was sort of a field kit and was fabricated in small workshops. That was the one that was used in the B and the R model. And then there is the official factory one model that was designed with the D model of the aircraft. So you have those two iterations. I presume that within the field kits of the earlier versions, there might have been some variants depending on where they were produced. But generally speaking, yeah, that's you have two iterations. You have the unofficial one and you have the official one.
Can I join your plane already?
Yes, now you can. I just had to change the loadout. Also, I also have
rear or bottom gunner? Rear.
Rear gunner, top gunner.
Yeah. Done.
Okay, so question by chat: did the Stuka have a bomb sight for level bombing? It did not.
Did any of the other Axis power ever buy the license for the U-87? I've heard Nazi Germany was very stingy with it tech compared to British.
Slovakia, or sort of the
we are under attack already.
Yes, there is a plane 1 o'clock. Wondering if it's getting closer. It is getting closer. Okay, Bernard, we're gonna jump out of this plane just because this guy is going to strafe us. There we go.
Really? What? What are we doing?
Yeah, because he's just gonna bomb us or strafe us and then we're dead.
Was it stream sniping or just a coincidence?
It's a coincidence.
We kill a lot. I'm flying away because you despawned, right? Yeah, finish spectate. That felt kind of odd.
We can go back. I think he crashed. I heard a big boom.
Sebastian, do you remember the question I have asked in the last live stream? You told me I should ask in this live stream instead. There was something, but I think back then I assumed that this live stream wouldn't be playing. but you can repeat it, so maybe this time. So I'm joining you again as a rear gunner.
Yeah, check our 1 o'clock. That's what's left over from the guy that tried to strafe us.
I can't look that far forward. Oh, there's some burning on... It's 2 o'clock, right? 1.5, yeah. So how does the thingy work again? Okay, with T I open. And shift T. Okay. Oh, nice! That's a way better side. So Peshka, and there is on our right is that a yak or a lag? It's Polish.
That's the yak. That's the yak 7, the closest one.
And that's a Polish emblem, right?
Yes.
Okay, at least I got that right.
Also, with the question about the license build, so there was a factory that was built in the territory that is now Slovakia, and that was meant to produce Ju-87 starting in 1944 for the so-called Slovak Air Force, which was theoretically on the German side, but that didn't go far. I think they produced I've seen estimates between 20 and 40 aircraft before the factory was essentially run over by the Soviets.
There's another question. Was the Stuka the only dive bomber use a siren for moral effect, or did other German dive bombers or other nations dive bombers use sirens?
That's the only one that had a dedicated siren. There are these stories that sometimes people put extra whistles on bombs in order to make them shrill and sound a little bit more intimidating as they're tumbling down, but that's pretty much it.
The one thing I encountered is that for I think the Großdeutschland division suggested for their flame half tracks to put a siren on them for more effect. Okay. I think I mentioned this in the video about flame half track tactics, but I could be wrong. Maybe I left it out. I definitely sent it another historian. because I found it quite interesting.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, if a flamethrower half-tick isn't frightening enough.
Yeah.
Outdated data hit received? Okay, whatever that
That's
means.
just the server is lagging. That's
Oh,
just
okay, good. Fair enough.
I'm just wondering where exactly is the runway? Okay, to our right. The JU-87 had an automatic dive recovery system. Someone made a video about that. That's just written in my chat. Yes, that someone was yours sincerely. Myself, Chris, from Military Aviation History. That was me.
Will these guys be good enough to join the Night Witches? I
Sorry?
think we are not female enough for that one.
Oh, well, the U2 or the PO2, depending on how you want to call it, is actually in the game. But it takes an hour to get to the front lines with that thing.
I can imagine. Why is the difference U2 and PO2? One is Cyrillic or
No, I think one is military and the other one is civilian designation.
because I know in War Thunder it's PO2, and in Steel Division I think it's always U2. And by U2 I always think about the American spy plane of the Cold War, which is a bit different.
Yeah, slight difference.
Especially in speed.
Oh, the mission's already over. No problem. We'll just start anyway. And we'll go into the next server and we'll have a fresh mission. That sounds good. Let's go full power. How are you finding the backseat of the A20, by the way?
So, Sebastian, you mean Gehlen of the Fremde Heere Ost or another one? Because the rank does not add up from what I know, because he was in the... Okay, there are 3 planes circling, but those are friendlies, I assume.
No friendlies.
Because Gehlen was in the Wehrmacht, and the rank you take sounds more like SS. But I don't know enough about it. I only know a bit about Gehlen when I did a video about him 2 or 3 years ago. So who is the A20 on our 6? Do we have friendlies? Is Sheriff?
Sure. I think Hound was there earlier, and I might have seen Sheriff starting up the game, but I'm not quite sure where they are at the moment. Yeah, Hound is in the server, but he's on the German side right now.
That's not comforting.
Scyther is our 6 with the A20.
Okay.
Why did the Stuka squadrons waste time on the channel shipping traffic and not go after English radar stations? Well, first of all, radar stations are incredibly difficult to take out, and second of all, their importance was not necessarily realized. And when they did realize that they had radar, it was one of those things. Well, if we send over planes to waste on the radar, then we're wasting them. We should be hitting factories or the airfields, and later on, obviously, the cities. So it's a question of, you can take out the radar, but that's not going to have a direct effect on the strength of the RAF's frontline squadrons, which was the priority for the Germans.
I mean, wasn't also not the problem that the Germans didn't understand how well the radar was integrated in the whole warning system?
Yeah, they didn't understand that it was like a completely integrated air defense system.
Yeah.
Where it's really of its kind. Although the Germans set up a relatively similar one later on for the night defense, and also actually for daytime defense. So yeah, the value wasn't exactly realized, but at the same time, you can, sure enough, you can attack it, but taking out a radar station with those towers that are essentially just
concrete.
Concrete and then metal, and then just there's no. It's not a building. It's the whole blast just goes around the tower. You really have to land square on to destroy it, and then it's relatively easy to rebuild as well. So the few successes that they had against the radar station on the Isle of Wight, for example, was mainly because they hit the electrical substations that were attached to those radar stations, as well as the buildings that were attached to them, where the the radar return was being read. So that's the main reason. And also the channel shipping, the Stukas were quite successful in that regard. So for the Germans, that just made a lot more sense. During our research, did any Stuka pilot stories stand out to you? If so, what pilots? Not really. So we haven't really looked into the pilot side of the stories. I know that there's a lot of books out there that highlight a specific pilot every now and then. On, for example, Eric Krieg's book has like these little paragraphs, these little extracts that are about pilots, but that information is available in those books, so it wasn't a priority for us. The priority for us was getting sort of that original documentation that the Germans provided on the Ju-87, getting that translated and giving people an insight into the Stuka that they haven't found anywhere else in any other book. Or mainly. And I would put it back. I have no idea. I mean, there's so many books that have been published on the Ju-87. Maybe there's one or two books that has already something that we have in there as well. But I doubt it that it exists in a collective edited edition like we have. Okay, so server is ending. We're going to automatically jump into the next one. Chat, if you want to ask questions, if you want to hang out, hello, how are you doing? 130 of you brilliant people in the chat. Thank you very much for spending time with us on this Saturday. How are you? How are you doing? Tell me.
The Germans had 0 points and the Allies 9,460.
That's just whoever loses has 0 points.
Okay.
That's just how it is.
So I'm not ranked last, but I didn't play 1 minute. Okay, interesting. That's weird.
Yeah, because the person that is below you has died.
Yeah, I was like thinking about that. Yeah.
But honestly, as a gunner,
shouldn't I show up on the German side as well?
No, because we swapped sides. As a gunner, to be honest, you shouldn't even be included in the statistics because it
Thank you
makes no
very
sense.
much. Yeah.
No, it just doesn't make any sense. Like there is no way the game is going to score you. So
But if I hit something,
that's a good question. Maybe on the next fly out, if we run into a couple of Germans, we can put that theory to the test. It is possible.
But then I would have a kill or destroyed something. I also could strafe something if you fly properly enough.
Yeah, we could do that. You're requesting an A20 barrel roll. I mean, that's possible. I wouldn't say it's recommended, but it's possible.
Sebastian Hohlein, I don't know about them. I don't know about the research, so I know very little about post-war.
Mike Quingley, heading to work in a few minutes, but I love the A20, favorite of mine. Looking forward to the book. I picked the paperback. Thank you very much, Mike Quingley. Thank you very much. Also taking that once again as an opportunity. Thank you very much, Mike Quingley, for that poke on this. Check out stukabook.com, our book campaign. Last 24 hours on the campaign. Make sure you check it out, and if you want a copy, get it now.
Hey, Green Goblin set. How are you doing? I like how it's if not when.
Hound is in the chat. How are you doing, Hound?
I have a question for you from BHT. How much training did the Germans pilot receive in the late war period, 1944 to 1945, and what was the minimum age requirement for German pilots during that time?
The minimum age requirement dropped below 18, although there's no coherent document that I found just yet that necessarily says this is this is the age that we're now recruiting from. But there were fly recruits as young as 16, as far as I know. But most of those kids were not put into the cockpits. They were just put, as sadly as it went, into the Volkssturm. So, as for the flying hours, they were very restrictive. So Germany started, if I remember correctly, with about 300 to 400 hours of flight training before the war, to less than 200 at the end of the war. In fact, as low as 100 sometimes, and in some cases at the very end.
So again, allies again?
Well, sadly, we only have the Peshka here, but yeah, we can go allies, absolutely. Let's do that.
Okay.
Actually, do you want to do the U2, No, actually, we're not
No.
going to get to the front lines with that thing.
Yeah,
So
no.
let's not do that. Let's get the Peshka.
Why don't we
It's a
have the
fun-
A20? Is it out of stock or?
This is too early. This is the defense of Moscow in late
Okay,
41. So
1941. Okay, yeah.
yeah, does not yet exist.
There is not very much Lend-Lease. I think there were some Lend-Lease tanks, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Yeah, things
Alexander
like
Hill wrote a paper about this. And actually, there were not so few because, I mean, that's his argument. Because, no, that's not you.
I'm spawning in a second. Just give me a minute. So the Peshka is a fun little aircraft, but you're going to hate the gunner's position.
So, Louis Sayes, I probably got it wrong. Hi guys, have either of you heard of Tangmere RAF base in the United Kingdom? I visited the Aviation Museum a few days ago. Very interesting World War II section.
Yeah, Tangmere Air Base, one of the most important airfields during the Battle of Britain. Very historic place.
I only know Biggin Hill.
Yeah, that's important as well.
Because I played the game Battle of Britain, the strategic game.
Yeah.
And I remember I bombed Biggin Hill a lot. And it was close to London, right? London.
Biggin Hill is it's quite close. I mean, I couldn't tell you how close, but it is close. Yeah. Is there anything else I have to do on these engines before I start them?
Oh, I can shoot the ground personnel here. Why don't I have a gun sight? I only have
Shift T.
No.
No?
I only have
Well, have fun.
it's I mean without Shift T, yeah, I have a thingy, but else it's basically just glass.
That's just how the Peshka is.
Can I turn on something maybe, or I don't know?
I wouldn't know at this point. Hound, if you're in the chat, Hydra folks, hello. We are on the Soviet side, by the way. Starting at the mid-airfield. Excited about Paul Allen's museum restoring Ju-87 to flyable condition. Yes, I am. Although recently I heard there is apparently some bad news surrounding that. I would have to confirm that. I haven't confirmed that yet, so I'm not going to say more. Maybe I get this wrong, so please don't quote me on this. But yeah, if they're continuing their work, absolutely very exciting.
It's a question for me, actually it's for you, but I think I know a bit also. Question, how did fighter bombers cooperate with Stukas at Crete? I know a few ships were sunk by 109 with bombs.
That's a good question. I haven't really looked into detail at the Greek operation on that level just yet. I would assume that they were given sort of the same target location at the same time to hit these ships. So that's pretty much what I would assume.
I think the only thing I remember about Crete when I talked with Dr. Magnus Pahl about it, and this was off camera, I think he mentioned that some veteran from the Germans mentioned, yeah, basically the 109s are flying so low they basically can already drive there or something. It was like, and that they were really happy about the support. It's the only thing, but that's not related to the ship thing.
Okay, I know there's always problems with these engines on the Peshka, but I'm really surprised that nothing's happening here. Chat, did they change anything about the startup sequence on the good old Peshka? Maybe some of you know that have played this game in a recent memory.
I wiggle the gun, maybe that helps.
No, a mixture is on. Mixture is up.
I really want to find out if I can shoot that guy walking there.
You can't.
No, he's protected by Stalinium. Yes. Yeah, it goes through.
This is the last days to purchase the book, right? Yes, so this is the last 24 or 28 hours, something like that. Go to book.com. What's the price on that? So the paperback goes for £36 sterling. You'll see it online, depending on your geographical location.
Nope, Shift F1 doesn't toggle aside. Paul, sorry, your message for one YouTube chat picked it up and held it in review, so I don't know why. Oh, what did you do?
I made a doo-doo.
Did you drop the bombs?
No, I had my old key bindings that I used, and that changed to my new setup, so I did a doo-doo.
Okay, fair enough. You're ready.
I'm back.
Yeah, I was like, you immediately showed up again.
Right, okay, let's do this again. Mixture.
Sebastian, I didn't look into that very much, Kamala and everything else. I once read up a bit a few years ago, I think on Wikipedia, and I found it actually quite interesting that if you compare the German and the English Wikipedia on it, that they have quite a different approach to certain aspects when it comes to him. But I personally never looked into. Was wasn't that the guy? Chris, do you remember the first time we were at the Military History Archive? I think there was another person that actually did research on Kamla for ages, right?
On who?
On Kamla.
Maybe.
He's the guy I think associated with the Red Mercury and all the Glocke, like these conspiracy things and some stuff. And I remember I read the Wikipedia article about him, and there was like, I don't know, in 1945, after the war, a German court declared him as dead.
Okay.
And that was...
Sheriff, since you're in the chat, quick question: did they change anything with the Peshka's startup sequence? Because mixtures set, radiators are set, RPMs are set, the engines don't want to start. The battery doesn't even engage. What's going on?
Can I tail gun on
Oh,
this
I need
side?
to put the throttle forward. Is that it? I mean, that would make sense, obviously.
Maybe I should fly the plane.
No, this is really strange. I mean, it hasn't done this to me before, but then again, I haven't flown the Peshka in over a year's time, so.
And I also don't have a gun sight, so...
Yeah, so essentially what should happen is if I select the engine to start, it should start flicking on sort of the battery systems and so on and so forth, and the game is not doing that. So RPMs are set, mixture is set, yes, 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 yes. It does have dive rate.
Have you two read Hacho Hermann's book?
Yeah, let's reset that again.
You do not think it's anti-gravity anymore, but a component to a nuclear device.
Yeah, we reset it already. Respawn. We already did that once, so I'm quite sure what's going on.
Yeah, the German military research into nuclear stuff and everything. I mean, I read the book on, or some parts, thanks to Green Goblin said for sending me that. What is that? What is now? Huh?
Just respawn.
Okay, now it works. No? What? Ah, okay. I pressed.
Ah, now it's doing it. Now it's doing it. Now
And
it's
I have the gun sight suddenly.
Yeah, I think our plane was bugged. If you didn't have a gun sight and it didn't start on the generators and so on, our plane was completely bugged.
Okay, that's good to know.
I have not seen this before, but it happens apparently.
So about Kummersdorf, basically they know next to nothing. So one person wrote this book on Kummersdorf, and he wrote it rather sober, but it still reads like a crime story because it's always, we don't know that, we have no idea. So everything is missing. And I also was at Kummersdorf and talked to the people there. It's like, yeah, we don't know. We always find ammunitions, we always find something. But yeah, not really much is known, and there's also part of the nuclear research was done there, or at least some Außenstelle, some periphery stuff or something along those lines. So yeah.
What's Kummersdorf for the people that don't know?
That's the Heeresversuchsanstalt. It was army weapons testing site. Basically, a lot of important German weapons before the Second World War and during the Second World War were tested there. They had like the Maus was built there, basically the prototype, and the Maushalle is there, and a lot of other stuff. So, and later on, after the war, the Soviets used it as well.
Yeah, I have two questions. Pledged last night by Winroop Rider. Thank you very much, Winroop Rider. Not sure if you've been asked already, but does the dive brake with two engine planes like the Peshka and the J-80 compare to the Stuka? Were they able to dive as steep? No, they were not able to dive as steep. It's not necessarily down to the dive brake though. It's mainly the plane. How many on average Stukas were in a Sturzkampfgeschwader? Nominally, it is 9 plus 3, the 3 being the reserves, per Staffel, which makes it essentially 27 plus 9 for a Gruppe, plus another 3 for the Staffel, and then you have 3 of those in a Geschwader, plus another 2 command Stukas. So overall, you're landing somewhere between, I think, 93 without reserves, 93 planes without reserves. But remember, that's nominal strength, not necessarily actional strength. And that also does not include any sort of Ergänzungsstaffeln, so attachment Staffeln, maybe you could translate that as, that were attached to the Sturzkampfgeschwader. And it also does not include the tank hunter units that were added later, which were the 10th Staffel, the 10. Panzerjägerstaffel. Obviously, at this point in time, there was also the switch from the Sturzkampfgeschwader over to the Schlachtgeschwader, so it's changing. Okay, we're ready. Finally.
What is nominal in German?
Sollstärke. That's.
Isn't that authorized strength?
Sorry? Yeah, authorized strength essentially. Yeah.
But what is the correct term for the
flyby? We're getting a flyby by the guys that actually had a picture that was not bugged. Thank you very much. Oh, that's beautiful.
Is nominal strength used? Was this your translation, or is this used for in aviation history more? Because as far as I know, we use authorized strength.
I have not flown this one in a long time. I've used that word now.
Okay, so I think authorized strength is the correct one.
Yeah, that's fine. We can
just for the editing process.
Yeah.
Sebastian, you're welcome. Jack, I want to thank you for your videos you have made about Panzergrenadier axes. They seem useful for the group I'm in. You're welcome. Glad to hear that they were helpful. Crumpets notes, I personally think the Germans could have accomplished a lot with even one small escort carrier against convoys. What do you guys think? Well, if the escort carrier could break out and could operate a bit like the Admiral Graf Spee in early war and not get caught, I assume it could have done something, but the moment it gets caught, I think, yeah, it's basically done for. What's your take, Chris?
I didn't hear the question.
I personally think the Germans could have accomplished a lot with even one small escort carrier against convoys. What do you guys think?
Probably not a good idea for the German side. Simply because if that thing is destroyed, you lose so many men and so many planes. Did he mean for the German side?
Yeah, for the German. My answer was basically if it gets undetected out like the Admiral Graf Spee, and it takes a while to catch it down, then I think it could have been worth it. But the moment it gets caught, it's basically a total disaster.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not convinced on that idea of having an escort carrier sized
I mean, they had how is it called? The Hilfskreuzer. The auxiliary cruisers were very successful actually. But then again, these were low effort converted merchant ships. I mean, escort carriers were often also converted merchant ships, but then you have you have mechanics, you have pilots, you have a lot of high qualified personnel, which I think is way more expensive and valuable than the crew of an auxiliary cruiser.
Exactly.
So yeah, I see your point. I missed that early on, but yeah, that's the problem. You have a lot of very high trained specialists on an escort carrier.
Okay, so we're gonna try some formation flying here, Bernhard.
Okay. I hope they have AI gunners, so I know. Check 5. The group I'm in has a replica Stuka 3 and a 1937 Ford mocked up, like an open Blitz. Nice.
Did the Ju-87C have a siren? No.
No, that's IL-2 Object 279, not War Thunder. I mean, the main problem with the Germans, Crumpet, was always, one of my professor called it the getting out of the wet triangle. I think could it be that this plane is louder than the others?
Yes.
So I turned down the volume even further.
Yeah, by the way, chat, is the audio good? I neglected to ask this early on, but please let me know if you can hear Bernhard, if you can still hear the game, if you can hear me. Should have asked that earlier.
The plane we are flying is a Peshka PE2. So the main problem for the Germans was always getting out of the wet triangle. So because yeah, there's the Home Fleet and the Royal Navy, or the Royal Navy with the Home Fleet and everything else waiting, and if you can get out, fair enough. They need to spend a lot of ships to catch you, as outlined in my video on the Bismarck. But if you can't get out, well, your ship is likely to be lost.
Yeah.
And that's very expensive. And with a carrier even more so if you consider the specialist you need. We are trailing a bit of smoke. Not sure if that's a regular one or from both engines.
Oh, that's just Soviet engines.
Okay, so fair enough. Are they comparing DCS to War Thunder? No, we are not comparing DCS to War Thunder. The audio is good.
Volume is fine. Thanks, Sheriff. Who are the other Peshkas? I have no idea, but we flew Ju-87s with them earlier, so... And they're obviously a lot more professional than me, so I'm just gonna follow them. They know what they're doing. I think
the influence of the German rocket program on the NASA, I'm not really aware of this. I mean, there was, as far as I know, plenty of influence, but I could be terribly wrong. I mean, they took Werner von Braun, so I assume, yeah, there was quite some influence.
Yeah, there's always this thing of like how much influence did it actually have compared to the popular sort of story and history about it.
Yeah, it's usually, yeah, we're a bit burned, you could say, because when we started our channels, at least for me, I'm not sure if it's the same for you, but I think as well. So there was a lot of stuff we knew already, and then we took closer look, and then it turned out, okay, that's actually quite incorrect, completely wrong, or extreme oversimplification what we learned before. in many
Definitely.
aspects. So the more, so it's for me, it's more like everything I read somewhere or heard from a source, I'm not really convinced. I'm taking this with a grain of salt because yeah, there's so much hogwash out there sometimes, and oversimplification and all the other stuff. And also just sometimes outdated research.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, also with this book that we're writing, right? If you go through those files, there's a lot of surprises that were they're in there for me about the Stuka, where I'm like, oh, they actually thought about doing it this way and not the way that we actually think they're going to use the plane, but they're like in the popular sort of memory. And once you start reading the documents, you're like, oh yeah, this makes perfect sense. Of course, it was like this. But yeah, it doesn't gel with sort of the popular conception about it.
Yeah. There's also a lot of time. Like I heard something like, the reason the Germans did this was due to what was happening on that front, and then I basically read a file and it said, yeah, we are gonna do X, and this file was written 6 months or longer before that front that actually created that emergency, according to what I read before, created that. And I was like, okay, yeah, no, or some other stuff. So a lot of the war developments, for instance, for the Panzertruppen,
Yeah.
like it's like there were like 5 or 6 points, and I assumed, yeah, they were all done due to war emergency or something. And then I read in a book that these points were already pointed out by someone before the war, 2 or 3 years before the war, and I'm like, okay, yeah, so much for that thought that it was due to the war. No, this was actually planned before the war even started. Long before, I mean, long 2-3 years, but yeah. So,
Wait, you're level bombing? The Peshkas are level bombing? Oh, okay.
hey, Grießbrei.
We might just be doing our own thing then.
I mean, Crumpets has a good point. Would losing 2,000 men in the Bismarck really be more desirable than losing a few hundred in an escort carrier? Well, the thing is, in an escort carrier, you have for an escort carrier, you need to have the pilots. You need to have pilots that are trained for an aircraft carrier. So pilots are expensive, and training on a carrier is even more expensive. Then you need all the mechanics and all the other technicians. Whereas for the Bismarck, you basically put your regular Kriegsmarine guys on there. So, and the other thing is, an escort carrier is a rather squishy thing. It's not particularly fast, because it's an escort carrier, which usually means it's converted. And I think the better comparison is if you look, because if there's an argument to be made for the escort carrier, it is like using them auxiliary cruisers. But from what I know, auxiliary cruisers were rather cheap, like an escort carrier, at least from the production side. But you had also rather regular personnel on there in very few numbers. You didn't have very hardcore specialists on there.
Do we have fighter cover? Yes, we do.
I don't see them, but yeah, I assume.
Sort of weaving in and out of the clouds. So these Peshkas seem to be level bombing, so I might just go into a dive once we're closer. Because we do want to give the chat a little bit of action. But if you look towards the left now, Bernhard, so that's your right, you can see the formation.
I don't see anything.
They're at 10 o'clock.
I can't look that far forward. Give me a second. I detached the machine gun. Ah, yeah. Oh, nice.
So they're gonna drop bombs real soon. I don't know, if you zoom in, you can probably catch that.
Yeah, but then I can't. Yeah, you watch R6 then.
Yeah, that's gonna be difficult.
Yeah, I can't watch. I get back to the machine gun. No. What?
Yeah, wondering if the factory is also a target. No, it must be those targets down there. It's gonna be a lot of explosions in a second, I think. Unless they didn't drop their bombs yet. No, they haven't dropped their bombs yet.
Wait. In the Red Star Air Corps, the Soviet pilot claims Stuka pilots would often drop on their own troops when escaping Soviet pilots. Is that true?
1 second, we'll drop these bombs first and then I'll answer questions, shall we?
Fair enough. You're not capable of multitasking then.
Well, if these bombs are supposed to hit, then no.
Oh, whoa, there's a lot of planes there. Free
there?
plane. Oh no, that's a Peshka, I think, behind us, yeah. He also has gull wings.
One
Right?
left
Oh,
there.
wait, oh, this is a 110.
No, that's
no.
the Peshka.
Yeah, it has the... You did this error once, I remember. Oh, wait! Is this a 109? Or
Is he on us?
It's a one engine thing behind us, but it's not shooting. No, it's a Russian. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. I really hate the gun sight or the thingy. It can't really aim down.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So this target has already been destroyed as we arrived. So let's go to the next one.
How did Germany get pilots to strap themselves into small rocket fighter aircraft, especially as there has been so many horrendous deaths in them? So I guess it's referring to the Messerschmitt 163.
Well, if you ordered to do it.
And you also like you're fighting a world war. I think is also important to keep in mind. I mean, dying at that point of the war was quite a regular thing. I mean, even before. So.
Yeah, if you look at it from nowadays motivation, obviously you're gonna say like, oh, how could they even like volunteer for this sort of stuff? If you're back then, yeah, it's a different situation.
It's a very different situation, yeah. James Bentley, will you guys do an episode on the Dornier 335? Pardon?
109, 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. Where is it now?
It's 2 o'clock. Going 1 o'clock.
Yeah, so I can't do anything.
I'm diving on it. I'm not gonna catch it. Unless he does something silly. Pound, if you can hear me, find me. I'm south of the earlier target. He's going after Peshka. No, an IL-2. He's going after an IL-2. He's gonna get him. He's in his blind spot.
I guess that was Basmach who was killed.
Oh dear, yeah, IL-2 is hit. Looks like he's still flying.
Cisco has been killed.
No, he's down.
Basmach destroyed Cisco. But Basmach was also... Okay, yeah.
I might get a shot here. It's gonna be tight. No, I am not gonna get a shot. He's on our 9 o'clock now. 10 o'clock. No, sorry, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock low now. He's far away, don't shoot now. You're not gonna hit him.
I see him. Or try to keep it inside. Oh, I think he's aiming at us. Oh shit.
Yeah, he is.
Oh my god. Ah.
Oh shit, I did a doo-doo. I'm fine.
Die, fascist! Die!
Shoot him! Oh, you're dead. Never mind.
No. I thought we crashed. No, I'm alive, but...
He's behind us, just shoot.
Yeah, I see. I'm trying. I can't fucking see anything. Go higher. Oh, I think I hit him. I think he's smoking. No, that's all smoke. He turned away. He's coming back. 7 o'clock. Yeah, oh my god, we're trailing a lot of fluids.
Is he on our 6 o'clock?
I think, yeah, he's coming in again. He's too far away.
Maybe I'm gonna get him. Be careful, you don't have a reload. You don't have a reload. My delay was a little bit too long.
Okay, I'm out of ammo.
Yeah, that's what I meant with you don't have
I mean, we were so fucking dead already. It was like...
Yak support.
Yeah, there was something else showing up and it didn't shoot us. I thought we were dead already like 5 times. I actually had real strong fire discipline.
What do you mean you had really strong fire discipline? You just fired everything.
But because at that point I thought we were dead already. I mean, I thought I was dead and we crashed already for like a half minute before, a minute before.
We've got another one at 9 o'clock. Or 8 o'clock going 9
There's
o'clock.
something overtaking us that's friendly. Yeah, I mean, I can do anything anyway, so...
Can't.
So I think I closed the thing and can better look, so at least I have...
He's so close, he's so close.
I could spit it... Radio Man killed! That's...
Yeah, he doesn't matter now.
You have a hole in your
He's
wing.
now.
You have a hole in your left wing.
Yeah, my second engine is down.
It's still spinning.
Yeah, it won't spin for long. Oh, no. That's us done. Oh, no. Oh,
this plane could take a lot of beating.
Yeah, the Peshka is pretty sturdy.
Gun damage. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Gun damage. Yeah, I think there's more damage to our plane than just the gun.
Bag Geeks killed us. Or Bad Gee.
Right, let's set this up again.
That was fun.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the V1 Doodlebug and the V2 rockets? Were they effective or could they have been used to resource the Alpha? I made a video on this ages ago. I only looked at the V2 basically, but if you look at the amount of high explosives they delivered, it was completely negligible in comparison to what the Luftwaffe dropped in the Battle of Britain. And how much resources went into that, it's in no way comparable. Of course, the question is, what was the alternative? And are you there? Yeah, you're there.
Press the wrong button again, sorry. Getting tired.
Wait, I know. Is it now? Error, unable to occupy station. Because you're not there?
Yes, just give me 1 second. I pressed the wrong button. They're right next to each other.
And but there's one a new article that came out I think last year about the whole weapons that actually it likely led to the Allies enforcing the war effort in 1944, late 1944, 45 again, because they were scared that the Germans would put out something more dangerous or something. So they were like, oh no, my gun sight is bugged.
Oh, okay, again?
Yeah, I don't have it, so...
Ah, shoot. Okay, let me just put the link to our book campaign once again in the chat. Everybody, stukabook.com, 24 hours left on the campaign. Check it out if you haven't already. Fantastic little book project that Bernhard and I are working on. Check out all the informations at stukabook.com. And it seems like we have to reset our Peshka once again. Because, yeah, it's bugged again. Okay, interesting.
Sebastian, what do you think about German research on zero-point energy and vortex torsion physics? No idea. Marcus Vinus Carly dos Santos, do you guys play Hearts of Iron 3 Black Ice? I played it a lot. As you probably might have noticed in my early videos, it influenced my early channel a lot, but the main problem is it breaks down too easily, as it crashed always on me. I remember then I played the Ahoy mod, and every time when the game had a slight delay, I always had the expectation that it would crash, and then I only realized how unstable Black Ice was for me. And I did a lot to set it up the way that it's stable, but maybe there was some change now, but I don't really have time anymore. And I really liked it because, yeah, it was really awesome designing all those divisions and everything. I need to check the gun sights. I have gun sights! And they're behaving differently now. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I have gun sights now. Yeah, there's a question again from James Bentley. Will you guys do an episode on the Dornier 335 Arrow? Chris.
I mean, it's planned, but honestly, I actually prefer to stay with the planes that really saw considerable service within the Luftwaffe, because there is a surprising amount of stuff that, especially right now that we're writing the book on the Stuka as well, that I realized that we don't yet know about those, rather than always going more sort of with the Wunderwaffel sort of approach. So yeah, maybe in the future certainly, but right now the priority is on sort of the equipment that really was used en masse, and that was really a staple of the Luftwaffe, rather than the ones that really weren't.
Yeah, for me it's similar, but I make a slight detour as on Tuesday you will hear about one tank that basically saw almost no action, but but yeah.
All right, here we go. This is one of those airfields where it's just a field, so we don't have to taxi, which is nice.
Griesbrask, have you seen the YouTube upload of the training video of the World War II US Air Force board gunners? I think it was really good tips if one tries to shoot down fighters as a gunner. I didn't. Chris probably did, but...
Yeah, I've watched it multiple times. It's pretty cool. Some of those instructional videos made by the US Army Air Force are really, really good.
Yeah.
Also by the US Navy, by the way. They made like some really sort of movie feature, 30-minute long videos about how it's done. And I think from a visual standpoint, the Americans really understood how to train their personnel, much so than the other countries. So you can also see this reflected sort of in the pilot manuals and so on. The American manuals and the pilots' operating manuals are, in my opinion, sort of the most approachable and the most convenient to use, definitely by a stretch. By a margin, I mean, not by a stretch. Vinto, how are you doing? Yeah, this is not a Stuka, not at the moment. We started with a Stuka today, and obviously, thank you very much for that hint once again. We are in the last sort of 24 hours for our crowdfunder, but yeah, not with a Stuka right now. We just wanted to mix it up a bit. Wanted to give Bernhard a impression of a different sort of gunners.
Yak flying by with undercarriage out.
Yeah, that might be Hound. Hound, if that's you, Wiggle.
Marcus, what is the latest version of BICE for Black Ice for Hearts of Iron 3? Because I thought that they stopped developing it because they moved on to Hearts of Iron 4, but I might be terrible out of the loop. 2 fighters coming in, but I assume they are friendly because nothing is shooting at them.
You know why he had his gear down?
No.
Because I forgot to put mine up. Oh, you can see that it's getting late, and I haven't flown this game in a long time. I was wondering, like, why is my plane vibrating? Why is it vibrating?
Dude, don't you have an indicator for that?
I do, but it's I didn't check it.
Oh! Enemy behind us. Somewhere there's AA.
Is there?
Yeah, I mean not close, but enough. You see that you should see them now at 9 o'clock. The small AA clouds.
Yeah. Okay, we're just gonna leave because he's probably preoccupied anyway.
Since this is a gunner video, the Junkers 89 was supposed to have 2-man 20mm turrets. Any ideas as to why and how?
I'm not well versed with the specific technical specifics of that plane, so I'm gonna pass. Junkers 89, he said. Was that supposed to be the MGF 151-20s? Probably.
I have no idea. I actually confused it with the Junkers 86, but I don't know the 89. I think I don't know it. Maybe when I see it, I realize what it. Did the Germans rotate their pilots to train new pilots? Unlike the Japanese, who used up all their good pilots in combat?
No, I mean the Germans retained quite a few good pilots throughout the war, but they lost as many good pilots as they had. So, and also you got to remember, even though nowadays we often talk about the aces, what's really important is sort of the average skill throughout the force disposition and how long you can retain those pilots to be effective.
But did they use them for training? The aces?
Sorry?
Did they use
no.
the aces for training? No.
No,
Okay.
they not really. It was very rare, so that's what the Allies did a lot better, where they folded back experienced pilots, not even aces, just experienced pilots, back into the training units and have them pass on their wisdom to the new pilots. So that's something that was very rare in the German side. And really, if you were a new pilot, the best thing that could happen to you is that like one of the older pilots takes you under his wing and teaches you the ropes as you're transferring from the training units to the actual operational units. But even then, I've read or I've heard that a lot of sort of veteran pilots were very unwilling to do that kind of stuff because they invest time and energy, and they get close to these student pilots and then they get shot down on their first mission, and that's just something that you don't want to be doing every month, meeting new people, getting new friends, and then just losing them straight up. So again, I don't know how much that I've heard it once and twice, I think, in pilot memoirs, but whether that was an actual problem, I'm not sure. But I could understand it from a sort of a human perspective.
So, has any one of you seen the work on Projekt Riese by Tino Struckmann? He has uncovered hidden evidence Germany had the bomb made as found high levels of radiation underground. I think I heard about this, if it's the book by the historian, and there was some controversy in Germany, and I only heard it on the sidelines because of a historian told me about it, and I think they made a complete book as an answer to his book. And then he wrote another book as an answer to that book or something.
Yeah.
But the fun thing is, I think I found, and I didn't found the other book when I was searching for it. I never read into it. I wanted to do this at one point. It was actually a project we had, where this was planned before, but we ditched the project before doing anything. So I hadn't time for it, and for me it's basically more researching the basics, because we are lacking so many basic information on the Wehrmacht that I mean, it's a really interesting project. But so the U-89 was the Ural bomber. Okay, yeah. Tell military aviation to stop flying like a drunken flying Dutchman. From Sebastian. What are some really good World War II books, starting related to Beaver stuff, any others that are must-reads? I personally would recommend, for the Red Army, Alexander Hill's work on the Red Army. For Germany, basically Germany at the Second World War, although there's 15 books, so it's a bit much. What would I recommend? For the German side, the Eastern Front, I would recommend Rutherford's and Wettstein's Ostfront, I think it's called. I'm not familiar with the works of Beaver. I think I have one of his books, but I must also add, I'm generally completely unaware of writing style and how well it is written in that regard, because I think, to my background in computer science, I only care about information and not really concerned if something is easier to read or not, because in computer science everything is hard to read anyway, and so everything in history is comparatively easy for me.
Yeah.
So I never noticed, like I heard people...
666.
What? Close? Far?
We got a gunner warning.
Oh!
So he's close enough.
There are two behind us. I don't know which one. They turned
six.
away. Yeah, there were two.
One just crashed.
I don't know, two, they're both gone now. I don't know what happened.
One just exploded
I only
into the
saw
ground.
they could be both were high and suddenly both were gone or going to the
I
ground.
see a gaggle next to us. 3 o'clock. Sorry, 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock.
What do you see? A gaggle?
A gaggle.
What is a gaggle?
That's the scientific term for multiple planes on.
Why you don't say multiple boogies? That I would understand.
That's a Russian. There was one more Russian here.
I don't see anything.
One more German. There's, I think that's German. That might be a German. No, that's Russian as well. Sheriff and Hound, I think they just like saved our backside again.
There's one high at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, that's Sheriff, I think.
I mean, I can't even aim. I have like, I don't know, I can aim to 7 o'clock and then it's gone.
Yeah, your gunner arc is extremely restricted. I think there's one target in front of us, but I think he... Not sure. I can't 100% verify his identity.
Is that Sheriff? Yeah, that's not a 109.
You mean a yak?
That's not a 109.
Okay, sorry.
It's I think it's a yak, yeah.
Oh, we have got another bogey on us.
Where?
Got a warning?
Well, what o'clock, man?
At least on 1 o'clock there's two. No, those are Soviets, but there's definitely a German here somewhere. He's out of range now, so he's out of the gunner bubble. There is something somewhere here. But we also have 3 Soviet aircraft, so we should be okay. What's that on 3 o'clock? What's that? That's
Don't
Soviet?
see anything.
That's Soviet. Yeah, I don't see anything. But there was something here. I think the mission is going to be over in a couple of minutes anyway, sadly.
Which means if it's an enemy, he's probably making his move rather soon.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you be hitting the deck so that we are harder to find and hit?
Yeah, but I also don't want to lose our escort. Although, I mean, it's Sheriff, he will find us. Let's go.
I told him we are diving.
Oh yeah, you told that to everyone.
No, that's allies.
That's all chat.
No, that's allies.
No, allies is when it's blue or...
Yeah, but for me it's blue next to it. Damn it, yeah.
But that means just you're on the blue side.
Yeah.
Well, not on the blue side, you're actually on the red side, but blue side as in your friendly side. There we go. Also for the question that was earlier for reading recommendations, just to get the basic sort of stuff. Luftwaffe, you can get James Corum, Luftwaffe, the Operational Air War, or Uziel, Arming the Luftwaffe. Both books are pretty good.
Yeah, James Corum also has The Roots of Blitzkrieg. I mean, Blitzkrieg, we don't like the word, but this is also a very good book.
Yeah. Oh, target, maybe 3 o'clock? No, that's a Peshka, never mind.
But there's something behind it, right, as well. Yeah, Peshka, and both are trailing smoke.
That's the yak. Yeah, no, that's Soviet engines. That's just Soviet engines.
We won!
Okay, we won!
Yeah! Oh, great
effort. I was gonna go into a hammerhead there. Okay, we're gonna switch server. We're going to have one more flyout, I would suggest.
Can we try the 110?
Yes, let's try the 110. Why not? And yeah, if you have any last sort of questions about the Ju-87, about our book project, make sure you put them in the chat now. Make sure you type our name at Mill Aviation History in my chat or at Mill History Visualized in Bernhard's chat. And we make sure also to check out stukabook.com. It's the last 24 hours for the stream. And we're sort of here celebrating with you the success of our crowdfunder. Thank you very much for making all of this possible. For those that have bought a copy, and we look forward to sending those out. Very much a project that I've been wanting to do since a long time, and I'm sort of converting Bernhard to the Luftwaffe here, hopefully. Not sure if I'm being successful, but we're just going to assume that he cannot overcome these the fantastic sort of aviation aspect to this book.
So Rosso asked, have you read Manstein's Verlorene Siege, Manstein's Lost Victories, and if so, what do you think of it? No, I haven't, but I know that from Dr. Roman Töppel, I think that on the first page there's already a lie or a misinformation. I think he noted something that the first time he heard about the war, or planning of the war, was in August or something, although it is known that he is, I think, as a general staff officer, already in spring or something, or in summer, prepared plans for, I think, his army or corps command, or maybe division command at that point, but I think it was already rather high. Become a gunner, German side.
Yeah, I'm still loading in. Just one sec.
So I might read at one point, but I don't think so, because I don't really look into generals. I'm trying to more get the basic systems approach to understand the whole system of the Wehrmacht more than like the persons about it. But Dr. Roman Töppel is working on an edition on Manstein's Nachlass. Basically,
no, his Nachlass. Oh.
Yeah, that's basically the documents he left over. I think his diary and letters from the family. So, and he's making an edition of it, or edition. I don't know if it's translated that well into English. So basically an annotated edition where he notes, okay, this person was dead, and here this information is correct, or which involves a lot of work. Believe me. I mean, our books are also translations, because somebody complained that, yeah, we're doing just translations. No, we are not doing just translations. This is like, we are adding footnotes on everything, on all the parts, to explain that you don't have to read 5 other books, that you have the basics down. So ideally we provide the basic. Of course, if you know more, you can get more out of the book, of course, but like, we're adding footnotes, like if there is a term, a special military term which is not explained in the book because it was common knowledge at the time, we will add a glossary entry, and then you get, okay, this is explained like that way. Like, I think for the Sturmzug, what we had, like, for instance, in German, they have 2 words basically for counterattack. They have the hasty counterattack, the Gegenstoß, which you do with the local reserves and without artillery preparation. So it's immediately done after the enemy has a break-in. And then there's the regular counterattack, which basically goes with extended reserves and usual artillery preparation. And we added that. Or also like break-in. In English, you have penetration, but you don't have a break-in, an Einbruch. In German, you have an Einbruch, which basically means the first defensive line is broken in. But the front line is not completely broken. So, and we also added this, of course. How did you find it? There's the plane. And Kamigana, and here we go.
Lollipop action. Oh, I didn't do it. Okay. There we go.
Was the Junkers 87 ever considered for a motor cannon like the MK103?
No. No.
Oh, that's also a weird gun sight. Huh? Why doesn't it work? You need to close it, right?
No, I already closed it.
Okay.
I mean, your gun is essentially the same one that you have in the Stuka, but it's just, I feel, a little bit more restrictive than in the Stuka, because in the Stuka, the turret sort of moves with you, whereas you have a more sort of
I'm to the side of it. I'm not sure what's going on. I can't really aim.
You might have to reset it, just like get out of the gun and get back into the gun.
Yeah, I'm to the side for some weird reason. In general. No, it doesn't work. I'm always to the side of it.
Okay, interesting. Maybe get out of the position and get back in. So just
How do you leave the position?
you do escape and then I guess finish mission or finish flight, whatever it says.
Finish mission, okay. And become a gunner again. And oh my god, here you are. And it's also a way to get 0 points. Basically, as a gunner, you get always 0 points.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm at the same position again. I'm not sure. Wait, maybe. Oh, wait, that might help.
It might also change once we've taken off. Sometimes.
Hopefully, yeah. Because that's kind of odd. Okay, now I think it's working. No? I don't know what's going on. This is correct, but once I hit Shift T, it's... maybe chat has an answer. It is true you cannot... is it true you are not allowed to say in Germany? It's a common phrase actually, but the problem is I think it's also... This phrase was also put on on one of the concentration camps. So this is one of the issues where, yeah, you don't ideally say it in public or like here.
In which case, if it was written there, why would you want to say it?
Yeah, it's a common phrase. So actually, I heard it a lot, but I only recently found out that it was used there. So.
Okay, is this Focke-Wulf gonna take off? Because I kind of want to take off. Yes, awesome. Pedal to the metal, buddy.
Okay, this is how aware were the Germans of British deception tactics. Example, the British reported V1s were overshooting London, which caused an adjustment which made them to actually fall short into Kent. General German intelligence in many aspects was lacking. It was not as bad as something, and especially in the early war it was quite good. And there's also difference, for instance, tactical and operational intelligence, at least for the army, was really rather well. But for instance, on the Eastern Front, once it was beyond, I think, 10 kilometers behind the front line, it was basically, yeah, not known anymore. Yeah, I'm doing something wrong with the...
So how do you find the gunner position here in the BF-110?
Yeah, it's buggy. There's something broken. Yeah, I can only to the side. I don't know. When I'm zoomed back,
yeah.
I'm centered. But if I have shift T,
yeah,
then I'm off center.
Yeah, it's probably trying to let you aim through one of the gun sights.
To one, okay. Yeah, that's...
Because you gotta focus on one, right?
I'm not sure. It just looks wrong, but yeah, you could be right. Your gun sight is also off center because you have to. Okay, yeah, I also confirmed that.
Yeah, my live chat is broken again. Sorry about that, chat. If you're asking me questions right now, I'm gonna try to.
There's a good question for you. Why did Germany not use the Junkers 87 like Hans Ulrich Rudel did with those massive cannons in the west as in the east?
Because you're gonna get shut down.
Yeah, air superiority basically. Which on the Eastern Front, correct me if I'm wrong, the Germans at least even up to the end of the war achieved at least local and temporal air superiority at times, where you can bring in a plane like this. But on the Western Front, this was basically not the case.
Exactly. Also, I mean, the Stuka was only used against broken through tanks as much as it could be. So, yeah, it was a completely different environment. Okay.
Could the Junkers 87R carry 250 kilogram bombs on the underwing pylons or just fuel?
Sorry, Junkers 87
R
carry
250 kilogram bombs on the underwing pylons or just fuel?
Oh, that's a good question, actually. I should look into the manual. I think I remember that it could still drop bombs from that location as well. I'm not quite sure if it could do 250 still. Although, considering the fact that with the drop tanks, it would probably have a relatively equal amount of weight there, maybe. That's a really good question. I'm gonna have to check that, and maybe in a future chat, future stream, you can ask me that question again, and at that point I will know.
We are having one engine. The left engine is trailing smoke.
What sort of smoke?
White smoke.
Water then. Okay, cool. Thanks for the heads up.
But the other is
an
not.
original.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, okay.
Please say vehicle. Vehicle.
Vehicle.
Vehicle. Yeah.
Yeah, vehicle. I mean,
The BF-10 worked out well as a ground pounder? Question mark.
not that much. In an environment where there's not that much flak, yes, but it was probably a worthwhile attempt to make a fighter bomber, but it wasn't as good, I would say, as something like the Focke-Wulf 190. Simply also the size. I mean, the size of this thing is going to make it incredibly complicated of trying to evade flak. And size does matter in that case. Okay, so we have a bridge in front of us. I'm gonna start dropping bombs.
Okay.
Hopefully I hit the first one.
Were the engines water or air cooled?
Water. So that's the problem.
Yeah, that's a problem as well, because that was one of the main benefits of the 190 as well, as far as I know.
Yes.
With air cooled engine, because you can take a few hits and it's still working. With a water cooled engine, a minor hit can basically make your engine rather well.
Oh, we're taking fire. We're taking fire.
Yeah, I heard something.
Is somebody behind us?
No, that was from what I remember. Well, I thought it was coming from the front.
Yeah, it's AA. I see it firing. Sadly, my bomb missed.
It looked like you hit directly under it, or it was directly on there, if I'm not mistaken.
It just exploded slightly to the side, sadly. Okay, keep your eyes peeled, because considering that they've just fired at us, there might be fighters in the vicinity. I also know where that flak gun is now, so maybe I can suppress it. Shame we missed that.
So the problem is, because I'm seating so far in the front, that the long tail really restricts my firing arc. Because with the Stuka it felt quite different, but this is like the Peshka, it's awful.
Yeah, it's a completely different feel, isn't it?
And that actually I wouldn't have suspected that at all, because it's just it's a tail gunner or a rear gunner, and
there you see the sort of the value in a tail gun like the B-17 or the B-25, where it's completely in the back. Vickers Wellington or something like that.
Also, you have 250 cals.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna do another attack here.
You have a bomb left?
Yes, I had two. I had two 500-kilogram bombs.
What are you playing? We are playing IL-2 Battle of Stalingrad, but we are flying a 110, a Messerschmitt 110. There are two planes high above us, but I'm not entirely sure. Oh, nice, and it didn't look, yeah.
Bridge destroyed, I think.
Yep, enemy bridge in square is destroyed. Destroy the ponton bridge.
I mean, I would probably be able to be repaired within an hour, considering the damage is very limited, but it's something.
Okay, there's someone following us, I think. 7 o'clock high.
7 o'clock high.
He's turning now 6 o'clock.
Ooh, that looks a little bit roundish. That looks a little bit roundish.
Yeah, he's coming in host. Oh no, he's turning away.
Let me get a good beat on those wings. If they're rounded, those wings, then that's going to be problematic.
I think that's a 109.
Yeah, that's a 109.
He's also not moving aggressively enough, I think.
Yeah, nice spot there, Bernhard. Nice spot. Okay, I would say we fly to the north now, defend our fortified area. until we die.
Oh, there's one plane behind him. There was a dot behind him lower, or almost the same height now.
I don't see anything.
It was just 1 pixel.
1 pixel. Oh, that's a good spot.
I think from the distance, but since he moved, I lost. He's below us now. Yeah. Maybe it was also dirt on the screen, but I think it was moving relative to him, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think my chat is still bugged. Let me just quickly try to fix that. Apologies, chat, if you're sending me messages and I don't see them.
So what about the Stuka and its doctrine surprised you?
How much more it was based on sort of interdiction and operational support of the army, how much closely it was doctrinally tied into the bomber units rather than delivering support to the army. And then also the technical aspect. So how do you actually use a Stuka in a dive? How are you supposed to attack a target and so on and so forth? A lot of the sort of pictures we have in our head of how that's done seem to be, at least from the manuals, not necessarily accurate, or rather the recommended procedure is somewhat different to the popular picture that I myself had in my head. That makes sense.
Okay, we have 2 things in our 6 now.
Are they aggressive?
I'm not sure. One is our friendly, but he, I think they're both turning away now. I think it could be that the one is trying to get the other one, and I think the one further behind is actually the friendly, and the one close could be the enemy. No, but no, he's not moving aggressively enough. So I think they are both friendlies. Probably Sheriff and Hound. Could it be?
I don't know if they're still flying. Sadly, my chat still seems bugged. Also, the server seems to have a couple of issues. We're walking all around the place here.
I don't see anything anymore.
I mean, you can also check on tab. Hound is still online, and Sheriff seems online as well, I think. Can't find it, but we're now close to the target area, so I'm gonna focus a little bit on what's going on around us.
Oh yeah, they are 5 o'clock, 2 on our 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, okay. In the clouds now?
Yeah, now in the clouds.
Okay, there's a fortified area below us somewhere.
No, it's 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock.
Are they getting closer?
Our height. Oh, I think 3. This is another one? Is it another one? What was the ground thingy? No, it's 3. I lost them. I think they're in the cloud. 3 o'clock now, 3 o'clock. Should be 3 or 2 o'clock now.
Oh, out or?
Oh, out, yeah, a little bit lower. Probably 100 or 200 meters.
Remember, if you see red tracers, those are enemies.
Yeah.
Oh, I see something low. Flying towards the Soviet side.
Oh, now 5 o'clock now. 3. This is a multiple bogies. 5 o'clock. I think they are engaging each other.
Okay. Trying to turn around to find it, but I don't see it.
There are 5. There are 2 at least now on our 3 o'clock. Same height. Yeah, they're firing.
Yeah, I see a Soviet, at least one Soviet here.
It should be 3 now in front of you, at least 3.
Yeah. I see one Russian going high. A 109 is on his tail. Good hits on that Yak. Yak on our 6 o'clock, diving down.
What?
I'm rolling.
Oh, he's smoking, that guy.
Yeah, he got hit by that 109.
I try to keep watch on him. Oh my god, yeah. This is Nausea Simulator 103. Yeah.
Sadly, I lost him in that dive.
I kind of see him. He was at 3 o'clock or something.
3 o'clock, okay.
But yeah, now I completely lost him. Now at 3 o'clock, there's something trailing smoke on our 3 o'clock low, which I think might. Oh, then there's something directly behind us. Oh!
I see him, I see him. Good spot, good spot.
I spot the wrong guy.
No, but you spotted the.
Yeah, he's now at. He's below us. 5 o'clock.
I see him.
He's diving, but there's another one. I think there's another one on him. Oh, he might go into the forest.
I see an IL-2. I'm going for the IL-2. That's our.
Fair enough. Yeah, you have good guns for that thingy.
Oh, he's turning too hard. That little sneaky bugger.
Is this another yak or is this a 109? Oh, I don't like this. He's wait.
Is there someone already on us?
There's something on our 6, but I'm not sure if it's our escort or not. He's.
Good hits on the IL-2. IL-2, 6 o'clock going down. We got one.
Okay, there's a 109 on our tail and it's engaged by. Oh no, I think we lost the 109 on our tail. We have a bogey on our 6.
Okay, is it close?
I can't keep watching it. I only know that he fired red stuff and then something, the plane turned, so.
Red stuff is not good.
Yeah, that was the reason.
Yeah,
so
we don't like red stuff.
I'm trying to. Two behind us are 2 burnt thingies. One is the IL-2 and the other one probably 109.
I see it, yeah.
But there must be the enemy somewhere that shot down our 109. But I can't seem to see him. Though there's, oh my god, there are 4 planes at least. At our 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, okay.
Now it's 6 o'clock. Ah! That came from front, right?
I have no idea where that came from.
I think it was from front, at least something passed by.
But in the exact same moment, I saw somebody in chat getting a friendly fire penalty, so I think we might have been hit by a friendly.
Okay.
I have to go back. Our first engine is hit. Oh, we've took some real serious damage. Oh, that's annoying. If that was friendly fire.
Yeah, there's at least a furball 3 behind us, or 6.
Yeah. Shame I could have got involved in that.
And one fired. I think the one that fired was a sword that looked red. Okay, I think there's one coming up again on us. Maybe 6 o'clock. He's forming up.
Oh shoot! Is he
no,
close?
no, he's not close. Don't move because else I lose him.
Okay. I'm gonna level out, but I'm gonna go low.
Yeah. Right now I can't see him at any. Yeah, I think he's far away and trying to follow us, but it could also be a friendly. Because, well, that's what escorts do as well. It also... He might also be concealed by the smoke we are trailing, but yeah, right now I don't see anything anymore. Let's check the other area a bit.
You getting closer?
No, I don't see anything anymore. Oh wait, no, that's dirt. We have a question. Why did the Germans went for drop tanks in the Junkers 87R instead of additional wing tanks like the Junkers 87D?
Good question.
Oh wait, something coming in.
Okay.
6 o'clock high.
6 o'clock high.
Should be a dot, yeah. He looks aggressive.
Is he still flying sort of in a perpendicular course?
Yeah, okay, he's now parallel, you mean?
Yeah, so yeah, he's going parallel now.
Yeah, it seems.
I'm
I
not-
think he's a escort.
yeah,
He's
I think
not
he also
aggressive.
had damage.
Hmm?
He also had damage. That's why he's smoking.
I don't see smoke on him.
Oh, then maybe that's a different guy.
He's low now. He's low 5.
Okay, my guy.
He's
wasn't
now
that
exactly over the river. He passed the river, but I don't think he's enemy because else he will shoot us now probably. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, it's a fucker wolf.
Oh yeah, that's a Fokker wolf. You're right.
Okay, here's the airfield. We're gonna try to set it down.
So we died with the Peshka,
Yes.
but we didn't die with the Germans so far, right?
Not yet, but we both times with the Germans we got hit bad.
Yeah. I mean, the Peshka was extremely sturdy. We took so many hits that was insane.
But it has a little bit of a reputation in this game for that as well.
So it's
Not necessarily
overpowered.
everybody likes it.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine. I mean, I fired everything because I was like, it felt like we should have died 5 minutes ago. Something exploded near the airfield.
Oh dear. Okay.
You see, it's all in the forest near the airfield. You see the plume of
Yep.
smoke. Yeah, I think I just saw the explosion.
There's been somebody who took off in an unorthodox manner.
Probably, yeah. In an unhealthy manner.
Okay, I need a gear check in a second. Gear is down and gear is down. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not. No, flaps are fine. I thought the flaps might be gone, but no.
I mean, I lowered those things a little bit too early, to be honest, but I kind of want to set her down.
So the left wing is badly hit. You have a hole in
Yeah.
your left
I can
wing.
really
The right
feel it.
wing looks good.
Can really feel the left wing here.
Yeah, the 190 is also landing. Well, looks
Sweet.
like good landing.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. Wait, on which side is the 109? 190?
Directly behind us.
Okay, then I'm rolling left.
He's also going low in left, but he's hard left already, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Marco, is MHP always the poor best in the backseat? Yes, of course, because I can't fly in this game, Red. I mean, I can fly the quick mission, but I don't have to start the plane and that's something.
I mean, in the future, maybe we can do some streams where I teach you how to fly.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if that's worthwhile the effort.
I mean, it's fun if you gonna fly.
Yeah, I think it's probably better we play War Thunder RB or something, or Steel Division, or I don't know, or Company of Heroes or something. That is a Messerschmitt 110.
So we destroyed a bridge and we killed an IL-2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You're almost in ace already. Only 4 more to go.
1/5 of the way.
Let's see how much points I got. 0 points. No victories.
That's a shame. I mean, you should at least get some points considering that we shot down the target and we also destroyed something.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but how
Maybe
this works.
50%. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's the game is designed to be a pilot, not a gunner, sadly.
Yeah, I mean, also I think the points are rather low. If they went for a point system, like for a kill you get 100 points or something, then it would make more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But
right, so my chat has just now reset. So I think we're done with the flying part. Let's have a little bit of a conversation still with chat and see where things go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so chat, thank you very much for turning up. First of all, we're gonna keep on streaming for a little while longer. Of course, celebrating the book launch. There's still 24 hours on the clock for you to get your orders in while the campaign is in its active state. So make sure you check out stukabook.com. Thank you very much for everybody who has already made this book possible. I mean, there's like 1,400 of you that have made this possible. So it's greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for allowing us to make this edited edition of German primary source material, plus a lot of annotations, a lot of introductory chapters, giving extra information for all of you. And it's going to be an absolute fantastic both introduction and also sort of a I think if you already know a lot about the Stuka, you're still going to get a lot of worthwhile information in this book as well. So make sure to put your questions in the chat about the book, about anything else, and yeah, just hang out, be part of the community. Thanks very much for being here. Just gonna go through my chat now. Will the book only be available for pre-order? So like, is it exclusive? No. Once we have shipped out all copies, and the ETA is essentially Q1 2022. Once we have shipped out those copies, we are going to start looking at a public release where you can get the book once again. But yeah, it's essentially half a year until that time.
Yeah, usually.
So if you want to get the book, now is the best time. Also, once it goes into a public release, the price might go up just slightly, but it will go up. Plus, right now, shipping is included. Whereas if you buy it later, shipping might not be included depending on where you are geographically, what your sort of what the sort of state there is. So the best option.
Also,
Sorry,
if you
go
want
ahead.
to have a signed version, this is now possible later on. It's not possible. I mean,
Exactly, yes.
it's always, if you meet us at an event or something and you have a book, we always will sign it. But
Yes.
first we need to be both there. But later on, this is not possible for logistical reasons that we send out signed copies.
Yeah.
And the other, so basically, what we regularly do, as Chris said, we publish the book for all our supporters, and usually we check before we make the public release that all the books are sent out and received. This time, I think there was a bit of an overlap because the Austrian postal service had a problem with Australia, and there were 15 books delayed. But even then, I think we waited with the public release for several weeks that we don't have an overlap. And so this is also, we make sure that the people that supported us definitely get the first version.
Exactly.
Or get the book first.
Will it be on Kindle or as an ebook version? No. So we did an ebook with our first book, and quite frankly, sadly, we only had bad experiences with that. So we're not going to do that now, or probably also unlikely in the future. I know it's convenient for some of you, although not that many have been asking for it. But yeah, that's just not going to be an option on this one.
Marcus asked how old I am. I'm 41. So I'm quite old. And Chris doesn't tell how old he is.
Yeah, I keep my age a state secret. Is an audiobook planned? Not at the moment. Not at the moment. I don't think it lends itself well to be read in like you know, you have to read it yourself.
I mean, we could do an April's Fools, like reading like one of the listings in original German, because I mean sometimes the military German or also the military English translation of it, which we will do, is it's not like so audio book compatible.
Exactly. Are we planning to do anything with a book about Wonder Waffles? No, we're not doing a book about the Wonder Waffles.
Maybe at some point, you don't know,
Maybe
but
yes, at some point, but right
it's
now
not.
Yeah.
We have already a few books from other authors planned, but we will see what goes there, and we also have our next books project will be something different also planned, but we can't tell anything about that because it's still top secret. And we might change it, but I think I had to do it rather early on, and Kristen said, no, we need to prioritize that book because he likes the idea. And I agreed. I said, yeah, that's very convincing. But basically, I have so many book ideas. It's crazy. I mean, I just looked at the military archives files and somebody else, some stuff else yesterday, and I was like, oh my god, there's so much material on that particularly vehicle, and it's like it hasn't been published, and it's all amazing. Then but we need to do the other first.
So the next book project is going to be a really special one. That's as much as we can say. We're really looking forward to that one because Bernhard had that idea, and I think it's an absolute winner. So we're going to do that, and then later on, like you said, I mean, we already have some authors that we're at least talking to, doing something. So there is going to be a lot of very interesting projects coming up that I think you would not get somewhere else. I mean, this because we're crowdfunding and doing this together with all of you, we're able to publish things that otherwise would not get published. And that's sort of the power that this internet community funding has really given us, because going the traditional publisher route, I mean, we've had contacts with publishers and so on and so forth, and it's a completely different world that plays by its own rules, and they would not publish the sort of things that we are publishing right now. So thank you very much to all of you that have bought the past books, that have, of course, our Stuka book that is coming out now, last 24 hours on the campaign right now, and then also the upcoming books. So it's you that make this possible, and then we're not just saying that. That is literally how it is. That is, it could not be done otherwise.
We're also asked, not quite the topic, but any news on the Achtung Panzer? Are you referring to the Achtung Panzer conference? Because I'm not sure if you called it actually Achtung Panzer conference. It's happening in September 2022, because we had to postpone it again due to the COVID restrictions, and hopefully then it will happen, because that's a bit of an albatross on our neck, because it's like I really like finishing projects, and if there's something in the background, always like it takes more time, it takes away energy from other aspects.
James Bentley asks, have I heard about the Aircraft Museum of the USS Yorktown in Charleston Harbor? There could be many episodes there on World War II aircraft. We could crowdfund to send you there. James. So I wanted to go actually to America, and then COVID hit, right? And this idea of crowdfunding a trip over there also was something I talked with my Patreons, and most of them are very supportive of that idea as well. So definitely that's something we're going to keep in mind. However, with the US is, you guys over there in the US, the amount of good museums you have for aircraft, and I think for tanks it's similar, but especially for aircraft, it's ludicrous. So it's going to be, I could go to a single museum right there and just film episode after episode after episode, but just in one museum. So the question really is, do I do that? Do I get that sort of access? What's possible? Or do I stretch it out over multiple museums? And that has to be decided before I can do any sort of funding for that, because it's gonna change depending on the volume of stuff. And I think, Bernhard, I mean, there's a couple of tank museums in the US as well. Is anything planned on your side?
Currently not, but if you decide to go over there, I mean, we should talk, because we might have an overlap, because we also, for the logistical aspects, filming and everything. For me, it's basically my current plan is basically finish up the German tank museum, or tanks basically. So that would be Panzermuseum Munster, and also some stuff at the MH in Dresden. But I still have I actually still have 3 or 4 videos from the Panzermuseum Munster, which I didn't do, and way more of the MH in Dresden from my last trip. And after that, I probably go first to the Bovington Tank Museum. Because
that's around the corner, right?
This is also the other thing is, with every museum trip, I learned something new to optimize the process and make it more efficient. And for the United States, you don't want to make any errors, because you have a limited amount of time. The amount of time and money you spend is way more. If I go to Germany, I think a trip to Germany back and forth with hotel and everything is about $500. For America, I can't even fly one way for $500. And then there's all the filming. Then since America is way bigger, you need also a car. And all the other aspects. So it's like, we're talking about not 500 euros, we're talking like about 5,000 probably. Of course, you can crowdfund that, but still, and also I don't have the connections, everything there, how everything works, because everything is a bit different. I remember when I was at Ohio, everything was easier at Corneo, because
Yeah.
it's less restrictive than Germany, for instance. I actually feel freaked out because not everything was so restrictive. So it was like, yeah, Chifton said, yeah, here you can do unless somebody tells you you're not able to do it. He don't tell you what you can do. So and but it's still sometimes there is like you forget something which is like which you don't, or which is common like in Europe, but then you realize, oh, in the United States it's different, and it could
Yeah.
be something minor but major for your production.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we sort of know here in Europe how things are going to run, with every country and every museum being a little bit different. So, um, I've had a couple of trips, of course, also planned here in Europe that were postponed due to COVID. But like you said, if we go to the US and we make a mistake or something happens, it's going to be it has a massive repercussion on us. And even if we crowdfund, and if we go via the idea, which I think is a viable idea for both you and me, um, we don't want to let all of you down. So if something
Yeah,
happens, that's a major risk. And honestly, I mean, that's maybe our German side speaking. We like to have a plan. We like having certain guarantees that things will work. We know that there's going to be unexpected things occurring in every museum. We've done this job long enough. But at the same time, you don't want to let people down. And that's just the sort of the priority for us is there as well, then to provide something at the end of it where we can say, look, this is all that content that you helped us create. And without that, it's going to be, I think, a little bit difficult sometimes to really to pull that trigger and say, oh, let's just go over there and see what happens, because we could do that and it could go well, but it could also go
yeah,
wrong. So that's I guess just our German side. I think an American would maybe just say like, let's go, and
yeah.
that's the difference between y'all and us. And it's a good difference to have. It's sort of,
And
I
there's,
like. Go
yeah,
ahead.
there's also one more aspect. I mean, I was to Dresden this year, and it was 4-day trip, and I basically had a small burnout, or I was close to it, because I took 2 vacations afterwards, and in the 5 years before, I never took a vacation besides between after Christmas. So this is also the other risk, because basically we are working on a third book now, each year book now, and so this is also the other thing. Like, okay, at certain time we need to slow down or make a certain break, which is also accounted for, because if we do a 2-week trip to the United States, it could be too much. Or like you can do one week trip and then one week vacation. But I have some questions here. Any more Panzer books coming? Not on Panthers, but there's some project in the works on tanks
Yeah.
with an external, or actually 2, with external offers, but there will be more information once we're closer. Then this is for you, I think, from Tomasz. Did Greg from YouTube get in touch with you regarding more technical information about the Junkers 87?
So I don't like really discussing, personal messages are being sent back and forth between me and other people, but I had contact with him about the book, and I think he has promoted it on his channel. And there is a small chapter within the book that does provide, for example, information on the engines. Maybe not to the detail that somebody like him would like to see or would need, but I think it's an excellent entry point for anybody that's sort of interested in the Jumo 211 engine. Um, and yeah, so there we chatted a little bit about the project. Yes.
Then Ranger NCR, speaking of books, do you think you can write enough books on World War II history? I have a feeling you can't grasp it all your life, but I could be wrong. Yeah, basically that's my main problem right now. I mean, lately I read some German army regulations on infantry, and I was like, I should write a book on German infantry. I mean, Buchner did one ages ago, and it's quite good, but there's basically nothing from the army regulations in there, because the basic structure is really good. It's like the division, and then he goes from the squad to the platoon to the company to the battalion to the regiment, and then all the weapons. But he, if I'm not mistaken, he basically doesn't go really into doctrine, or at least he does not refer to what is written in all the regulations I know. And it's like, oh, how did he find this? Like, they note like, this is the weapon of the platoon, this is the weapon of the company, this is the weapon of the squad, and then I get a further appreciation for that. And I'm also thinking, how can I visualize this and everything? And then I'm again, yeah, but we have to do the Stuka book first and the other book first, and there's another book, and and it's like, yeah, and then I stumbled across something about the Sturmgeschütze the last few days, and it's like, oh my god, I could do something on Sturmgeschütze. There's so much material right here. So yeah, it's it doesn't. But the other way is, if you look at it, I mean, we have now a book on the Panzer company. Then we have now on the Sturmzug, on the infantry, and now we also have one on the Stuka. And next year there will be another one. So at the same time, I think the good point is, like, people always say, people overestimate how much they can do in 1 day or 1 week, but they underestimate how much they can do in months or years. And you see constantly, we're working now 5 years on this. We're almost 6 for my case, and I covered a lot of ground. And at the same time, I think, yeah, I don't know very much, but then again, it's like, at certain points you see, okay, you have a certain foundation, and then you can build upon this. This is when you also with the books, with the glossary, because the next time we write a glossary on a book about infantry or tanks, we already have a glossary reference from the first few books.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we're also reading on the side, and I'm also making notes now. Okay, here's that word defined, because recently, I think yesterday I sent you images on the German different trenches. Like, I found out they had like a Schützenloch, and I think they erweitert the Schützenloch, so a foxhole and an advanced foxhole, and then a special trench and another special trench. And I didn't know they had this before. And it was like, oh, okay, I write it down immediately in my notes, and the next time this comes up, I can look it up here. And there's one more question, sorry to interrupt you.
Sorry, there's 2 questions here, very quick ones. For the Stuka book, is payment only possible via a credit card? On Indiegogo, yes. If you contact us via a personal message, for example, on Twitter or something, there could also be the option for PayPal, but it's a little bit difficult. So the option is there, but you'll have to go through a couple of loops.
You had a second one?
Yes. How do we finance ourselves? Do the books significantly contribute to that? So basic financing is essentially done both via YouTube apps and Patreon.
Yeah.
With Patreon being really sort of the fund where you have to think about, this is the money that allows us to do certain projects and so on and so forth. So for example, for me, Inside the Cockpit, that comes all out of Patreon. That's how that is funded. So those are 2 income streams, you could say. And then the books, I mean, they're once a year, and the campaigns themselves, obviously there's production cost you have to deduct from that, there's shipping cost you have to deduct from that, because obviously the price includes shipping costs for our campaigns. And a significant chunk of that money obviously goes away. But with sort of the sales that we're having right now, I think we could say that has, at least for this year, contributed significantly, I guess. Yeah.
And it's also about the long-term strategy, because the thing is, from YouTube, you don't know if they make an algorithm change from tomorrow to, or from today to tomorrow, our income could drop by 50%, 90%, or it could be higher as well. This is the YouTube roller coaster. And I have diversified already, because I have 2 channels, and ironically, I see sometimes when one channel tanks, the other one does rather well, so it balances out. But Chris only has 1 channel, so if he has a bad streak, and he had some this year, and I had some this year, then it's and with the books, you always have a bit on the side, and it's not, but after the launch, it's usually not that high, but it's constant at the same time. Now I have a question: how about Militrax in May 22nd, 2022? I saw in 2019. Hey, these are maybe I talked with Rob about this. The problem is mainly time again, because usually all these events, also like Tankfest, they're actually quite stressful, because I'm always like, oh man, there's so many great tanks, and there's so many good opportunities to film, and there's so many people, and for me it's always like I want to do 5 things at the time, and then that stresses me out. And also getting there and getting back. I mean, also quite old with 41. So because that also changes. Because when I was young, when I was 26 and was traveling in South America, I didn't care about all this, and now I'm kind of feeling it. It's like traveling is not. Back then it was an adventure. Now it's more like a drag, and so this is always I kind of want to go. I also talked with somebody else if you want to go there, because usually I don't go alone. But ultimately it comes down unlikely to a certain degree, because it takes time, and I don't really know how to produce a lot of video out of it. And this is, for instance, with the trips to Dresden or Munster, where I can make a lot of videos. Then the stress is kind of, let's reward it, or I get it back, because then I can push out a lot of videos in a short time and then have a recuperation period. Bit of a random question. How long have you known each other and how did you meet? I'll let you answer this, and then you can also expand on the other one.
When did I think we started talking in 2016?
Yeah, you contacted me, I think.
I think I contacted you, yes.
After I dropped the comment, could it be that way? I think I dropped you the comment with the Peshka ears.
Possible, yeah.
And then you reached out to me to play Hearts of Iron or something, I think.
I can't remember. So yeah, I mean, I remember I reached out to you, but I can't remember exactly what it was. I mean, we could probably go back into our email history and then cringe at sort of the early emails that we were sending to each other. But yeah, I think we met then, and then we've been sort of progressively been cooperating ever more and more. And the first time we met each other is when you had your top 5 at the Bovington Tank Museum. I think you came over to the UK.
November, December 2017, I think.
Something like that. You had still had your old hair, where the hair was
oh my god, that was awful. I actually postponed shaving my head back then, because I thought I can't go with a complete shaved head in front of a tank. Weird beliefs.
But yeah, also a couple of comments then here. This is the first book I ordered from a YouTube channel I follow. Yeah, thanks very much, Eric. There, yes, indeed, shipping is actually included in our price, so you're saving a little bit of money there compared to some other projects. Although I think with headstamp books, that's Ian McCollum. From what I heard, I mean those books are beautiful. I haven't, I haven't bought any of those, but. Yeah, I saw those shipping prices, and I mean, I understand it, and I do know what sort of money goes off our sales price for shipping, and it is a significant chunk, especially if we have to send out, to multiple places in the world. But we kind of felt that for this project, we're still going to go with our approach that we had the last 2 times as well, where shipping is included in the price. Whether we do that in the future, I mean, there have been so many changes to shipping and shipping prices over COVID that I just I can't say what we're going to do in the future. I don't know how you see this, Bernhard. But yeah.
What? Sorry, I missed because I read the next question. It was about shipping.
I was talking a little bit about sort of the because somebody was saying that they ordered this book. This is the first time they ordered a book from a YouTube channel, and they wanted to actually order a book by Headstamp Publishing. Ian McCollum. But the shipping pricing was a little bit issue.
Yeah, the problem is shipping from the United States is extremely expensive. I remember one support, I think Matthew, I could be wrong. He sent me a book 2 years ago from the United States, and I think he paid like $40. Basically the price for the book was almost the same as like the shipping. And so and then if you do commercial shipping, and there's also packaging cost, labor cost, everything involved, because we did partially ship some of our stuff manually this year. And this also took several days, and we had to fill up the custom forms manually. So I can understand that it's quite pricey.
Plus, I mean, we have the benefit of well, it's not really a benefit, but we are in Europe, where pricing or shipping to different European countries, at least inside the EU, for the 27 countries that are in the EU, is relatively straightforward. Of course, to the US, it's quite expensive again, but for someone like Ian, who obviously has a hefty tome of a book as well. Sending that stuff over to Europe is going to be more pricey. So I guess that's why they went for that strategy. And like I said, I don't know how we're going to do it in the future. Right now, shipping is included in the price. So if you're getting a Stuka book, you can, you're not paying extra for shipping. Whether that we can do that in the future with COVID and everything changed. I mean, we have our shipping partner, and yeah, we had a couple of chats with them, and we saw the new quotes and so on. We were like, oh yeah, things have changed, prices have gone up for production as well. So
Yeah.
anyway, I think you had a question as well.
Yeah, a bit late question about museums, but have you looked into Russian Kubinka Museum? Huge variety of unique vehicles, although it's a bit messy, or is it Russia complicated? That's a bit of an issue with Russia. First off, I'm a bit, I don't speak Russian, so that's a major problem. If I go there, also I'm sometimes a bit concerned because for political reasons, I know that some of my videos could be problematic over there. And if I go there and I need a visa, I probably need to declare what I'm doing. So this could be no issue at all. It could be, hey, there are many Russians that wrote me very positive comments on my videos, but there are also some that wrote the complete opposite. And there's also, I know at least I think one German PhD student or something is actually, I think, got into real troubles in Russia as well.
Yeah.
So he wrote something that was not, and I think he got, he's labeled right-wing extremist, and I think he also got penal law Anzeige, I don't know. So,
Yeah.
so it's, this is the other thing is like, okay, Germany first basically, and then Bovington, because I know the infrastructure basically there. I definitely want to go. It's like if I can, but it's also a time issue. And I also likely if I go with somebody who speaks Russian and I can trust, because I also heard, but I'm not sure how well this is. Generally, if you don't speak the language, also I find it a bit like, if I go in another country and I don't speak the language, it's also a bit impolite. And so at least I want to bring somebody who can counteract this a bit. And ideally I want to go there with German historians that are known there or something, because that is basically a good guarantee. But also, yeah, look at him, and it could also be there are other connections over there, like I think Chieftain has some and everything else. But then again, that is basically I try to get every tank that I can get in Germany or the UK, and then I look outside of that bubble. Then I look to United States, and then I look to Russia, basically.
You could probably find something in Eastern Europe as well.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I wanted to try to go to Poland.
Yeah.
And I actually had a Polish supporter, Firefly, thank you very much if you're listening, who tried to help me. And
Oh, Firefly, I remember him. I know him.
but we didn't get into this museum, or we didn't even manage to get an answer. It was like, I think he called 2 or 3 times, and they said, please write us an email. And then he said, I wrote already 3 emails. And then he said, you know what, forget it, it's not gonna work. And this is also, but with other museums, like with the Ostwall, it was absolutely no problem. I mean, this was just worked like a charm, or Slovenia in Puka, it also worked really well. So this is always with the thing, like is it from personal experience? If it's just I would go, okay, try something new, but I'm older now, so it's more like I do that what already works or know that works, especially also since it's business expensive, and I go with that route. So I go the road more traveled in that sense. And once that is established, then I can go, okay, now I go to Russia or the United States or Poland or something. But yeah, basically I've been only to Germany, and there are also some people that say, hey, there's a lot of museums in Austria, why haven't you done anything with them yet? Yeah. That's the other thing, because there's the museum in Sonntagsberg, which has quite some stuff. Then there's of course the Heeresgeschichtliche Museum. Then the Bunker Museum is still there. I mean, I also could go back to Puka because there's also several vehicles, like they have a T55, which can drive, I think, in other aspects.
Alex, how are you doing? So yeah, I think thanks very much, guys. I think we're gonna round it up maybe here. I just want to give a quick update. So we have now 1,525 backers on our book.
Thank you very much.
Amazing. That's been an absolutely steep rise in the last couple of hours. But we also have 35 hours left. So if you want to get your book, if you want to join into the campaign, all the stretch goals are unlocked. So you're getting the best of the best now. This is really the best case scenario for the book. All the additional chapters are in there. Go to stukabook.com. I'm gonna try to put once again my little there we go, stukabook.com. Let's put that in the chat as well. Thank you very much for all of you who have made this possible. Without you, this would not have been uh, possible to achieve. It is absolutely fantastic to have a community like this. Thank you very much for being here, for watching our videos and supporting our projects, because yeah, without you guys, books like this would simply not exist. So if you want to get your copy of the JU87 book that we are writing right now, check out that link that I've just put in the chat. I think Bernard, you've done the same in yours. And check out the campaign. Decide for yourself. Do you want this book? Do you think this is going to be something that you're interested in? Yes or no? And if it's yes, 35 hours are left on the clock. Check it out now, stukabook.com. And thanks very much for Digging for Facts. That's a good name there. Thanks for streaming. Looking forward to getting my copy next year. Well, thank you very much for buying it. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much for supporting the project. And the same thing to Brett. Thank you very much indeed. Luna Weasel, thank you for the stream. Thank you for being here, Luna Weasel. And yeah, I think we're gonna call it here. Do you have anything last words? I'm gonna give you the last word here, Bernard. Go ahead.
You give me the last word. Oh my god. Yeah, so yeah, thank you very much everyone for the support. I mean, 1,500. So I think we have now more supporters than for the first two campaigns together, probably. I could be wrong.
No, I think there were about 1,000.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
a couple of days ago.
So yeah, thank you very much, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the chat and the flight. And yeah, I think thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.
Thank you very much, everyone.